Hello everyone, Conor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. So, want to watch Yellowstone or try and get into it?
I'm struggling with Yellowstone.
Right.
I'm struggling a lot.
So, naturally I was like, right, Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Right? So, Gemma has login details.
Okay.
But she was away. Right? I was like, she was like, she had said to me, use her iPad and cast it to the TV.
Yes.
Did I hear any of it?
No. Of course not.
So what I'd actually done was I was like, I can't be fucking arsed waiting until she gets home Sunday.
Okay.
She was working at the weekend there. And I was like, fuck it. We'll go on and I'll download Paramount Plus and I'll try and get into it. So, got on to download it, Paramount Plus. Like, it's £10 or £11, whatever, right? That'll do for the 4K one. It's grand, 100%.
Didn't even know there was a difference. Okay.
Neither did I, but like whatever I've seen, there was two different prices. You can pay one with ads for like a £5, one HD quality for like £9, and then 4K is 11. So I was like, fuck it, we'll go for 11 for all it is for
cheaper
1 month.
than Netflix anyway, which is now $17.99. Thank you very much.
Yes, but so I was alright. Downloaded it, went on to it. I was like, I'll actually take a good browse in this because I don't know what's on it. And I was like, this isn't actually that bad. I was like, fuck me, there's Anchorman. Then, knowing me, I took a wild notion to start watch Anchorman 2. Is it on it? No.
It's pure balls.
Went on to ITVX, which is their streaming platform, because they have it. Random, I know.
Right.
So then put it on, and the bit where it's like, so he goes in and they think him and Veronica Cornerstone think they're going to get the evening news job.
Yes.
The best segment. And, well, your man goes, you're the worst anchorman I've seen. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, goes into the thing and it's like, teleprompter's capital there. It's like, my name is Ron Burgundy.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah. It's like, but anyway, so yes, that probably just sounds normal.
What you need is like a whiteboard behind the camera, so you can like stare at the camera.
It is episode.
And it has key pointers such as "Hello and welcome to the LSD podcast," where we is that Agri Automotive? Yes.
You're acting like I don't have any eyes.
It's just because wait, you're not blind, are you? You do wear glasses, do you not?
No, not really anymore. No, I'm long-sighted, you see, so I could see far away.
I was set on top
Whereas
of the
I'm not short-sighted. Whereas if I was short-sighted, I'd be like, this is the Automotive Podcast by Limited Slip Differences here. But no, so what makes me a bit of an idiot is the fact that Gemma gets home on Sunday. And I'm like, I was really impatient. I just fucking downloaded it. And she was like, Yellowstone's on Netflix. I was like, fuck away.
Is it?
It is.
Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Neither did I, obviously.
Well, do you know what's a pure...
I was like, no, it's not. And then she was like, just
and then you checked it, and then it was there. What balls. Well, do you know what's a pure balls?
Guess what I didn't do then?
What?
Watch any of it.
Because you're too busy watching.
Try it.
Because you're too busy watching Anchorman.
No, I switched it on for half an hour and I got bored. And then
I can't get into Yellowstone at all. But we've started watching films because I'm not a good movie person. So
you're started to watch films, but you're not a good movie person? Yeah,
because Becca really likes films, and I'm not a good movie person, so I was like, right, well, what are we going to watch? Rather than sitting, going through Netflix, just going, what are we going to watch? I've started using the IMDb Top 250.
Oh.
But it used to be every single film that was on that list was all on Netflix. And now one of them's in Paramount, one of them's in Disney, one of them's in Amazon.
Do you have all of them?
We have Netflix, Amazon, Paramount, and Disney.
Which is them all?
No, with Now TV as well.
Now TV is only like a Sky type of thing.
Well, a lot of the films, it turns out, are on Now TV only. Pure balls.
How?
You tell me. You go through the list and you look at it, it's not on Netflix, right? And I'm talking like top 10 IMDb. Now, don't ask me to remember which one it is, but I remember looking at
like the Shawshank Redemption and stuff like that.
Shawshank Redemption's on Netflix. But, for instance, The Lord of the Rings, you can only buy them. You can only pay to rent them on Amazon.
Oh.
So that's the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Did you watch the extended versions of Lord of the Rings?
No,
You didn't want to pay for them.
no. But like, for instance, like Pulp Fiction, I think was on Paramount. Was Fight Club, was that on Disney? Like Green Mile's on maybe Disney or something. Like it's all pure, like everything is here and there, and it used to be it was all on Netflix.
Aye, but then all of these studios, I suppose you call it, they were like,
Wanted to cash in on the streaming exercise.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
of course. Now, like, to be fair, you can get, because Disney bought Fox, you can get a lot of good stuff on Disney, as it turns out.
yes, you can.
Like, so
And then Netflix is very good for their original series now.
yes, I don't think Netflix is as good as it was, but
I would nearly say, yes, I understand.
it's always my go-to. I'll always go to, because it's familiar to me. I'll always go to Netflix first.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Well,
true.
we move on with the podcast
Yes.
rather than chatting about streaming platforms.
Hello, folks. How are you doing? You're listening as not to the What is the Best Movie podcast, but the Accurate Automotive podcast.
I'm not even cutting that out.
By Limited Slip Differences. Your perfect blend of cars, tractors, and everything in between. Not really exciting intro, but thing. I'm Conor.
I'm Michael. What's great, folks?
And you're listening to our episode 56.
56.
It is 56, isn't it?
It is indeed.
That's not so
Yes,
bad then.
56.
And that's where my notes go out the window.
So,
A lot happened.
yeah, a lot happened, and it's going to be a good podcast because
Word of warning, we're going to talk a lot about drifting.
a lot of it drifting.
Not James Dean, or
No.
the Shanahans, or Dwayne McKeever,
this guy.
or Stephen Halfordy,
This guy.
or Dylan Wilson,
Well, Dylan Wilson comes up actually in the story.
or much. We talk about the Sierra works.
Yes, well, 50% of the time.
Sorry, worked.
Yes. No, it was working now, like, but yeah, and just on top of that, we've Nathan Maher coming on as well, and that was the second instalment of me being down in Cork a few weeks ago, and I recorded with Jack and Aaron in episode 53.
You did.
And then, just because as I covered it in the last podcast, I really wanted to get this done properly, because this episode is Nathan's fucking class, like, so I wanted to, as I said last time, I wanted just to make sure if I was editing this podcast that it got a good run. So the last one we did Ask Community, it turned out very well actually. It was a very fun one to record, but I was fucked. I was in the middle of me trying to get the car ready for the drifting,
It was.
so it was absolute mayhem. The last 2.5 weeks were absolutely crazy. I barely slept.
It shows.
Yeah. I'm only really starting to come right. Now, last week, don't get me wrong, last week was still a productive week. And, like, you know, still out in the shed to maybe 11 o'clock or whatever and doing whatever else. But fuck me, the week beforehand was absolutely crazy. I barely slept. Like, right, so will I just start from the whole start? And you can prompt me. Because you know pretty much everything by this stage, like.
I suppose so. Michael, you might have went drifting in the Sierra.
I did. Went to the drifting
How did the
bash.
prep go for the drifting in the Sierra?
Suppose when we cast our minds back to about 3 weeks ago, and basically, if you remember, I've talked about it quite a lot in the podcast. I had more or less no gear stick. So last JDM Classics day, my gear stick fell out. The wee bush that holds the spherical mount, the gear stick, and that fell out, and I basically had no gear stick. In that time, somehow, on the 3 times I drove the car, still managed to get a speeding ticket. Thank you very much. 3rd gear boost.
I might have got one today.
Me too, actually.
So, just a small before we continue on with yourself. So, I was coming on the new bit of dual carriageway between Toom and Ronaldstown.
You met them at Bell's, didn't you?
So, I was coming up Ronaldstown bound.
Okay.
I seen them sitting
At
in the
Bell's?
lay-by.
Yep.
So I anchored her on cruise control at 70, no bother. This was at, I think, 2 p.m. or something. No, just after 2 p.m.
Yeah.
On the way home, which was near 4 p.m, I was like, not a hope they'll still be there.
I'm surprised they were still there.
So I was in cruise control at 70 plus 10.
Yes. 70 plus VAT.
Minus 10. So anyway, and I was coming downhill, and I seen stuff in the lay-by, no speed van, happy days. Then I seen another driver anchor in front of me, and then I looked up and went, fuck, anchored her, and I went, oh, I'm caught, probably caught.
You may be alright.
I anchored her and she actually went very quickly below 70.
You'll be alright.
So, don't know, not sure. Hopefully my allegedly illegal plates will get me away with it.
No, they won't. They're, like, this is the thing that goes, small plates are dangerous. Well, fuck me, I don't know, they're like 38 mile in Sierra. They're still very, very visible in my speed. Very much so. I just was like, yep, well, the small plates aren't really actually that much of a help. But that was the main thing.
You'll find out by episode 60 if I'm crying or not with more money missed it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Gone ahead, so...
the car, so the JDM Classics really was probably the last proper time the car got a real good go, apart from the charity day out. So the car hadn't really... Oh my god, what's he on? Okay, I'm not even that tired. And yet I'm yawning.
You've literally described to everyone, no sleep this last few weeks. Absolutely knackered. I've just been absolutely flat out. Absolutely no time to do nothing.
It's true though.
And I'm quite alright now. And
I'm a bit annoyed at that actually. But no, so basically we were sitting
Take 3.
We're sitting with a car.
Breaking the fourth wall now.
I'm not editing any of this. We're sitting, fuck it, we're going raw.
Sitting, fuck it, we're going raw.
Yep. We're going on dry. That's
the way you
do you know what?
Edit that out.
No, but I'm not editing it. No, I'm not editing
you're
it.
sitting there and I'm sitting here.
So, yeah.
For anybody that is listening to Spotify, as Michael would normally point out, I am sitting approximately 3 to 4 feet away from Michael.
About that. So that, along with the fact that the car was, well, the last JDM Classics day, when I was trying to slide now, granted, totally different ball game now, but one thing I noticed, so I had a Granada power steering rack in my car with an Astra hydroelectric power steering pump. So whenever you turn the ignition in my car and you'd hear this pure, like, sound like a jet fighter taking off noise.
Yes. So essentially what you were saying was that's steering setup wasn't deadly.
No, so what was happening was you would come in to like a corner, and as you were coming out, the steering wheel wouldn't self-center.
So it was not returning.
No, and apparently that's a problem with the power steering rack in Sierras when you go drifting. So I talked to a couple of lads who did slide Sierras, and they all said manual rack.
Manual rack's
the only way to go. Catch and grab. That's what they told me. And then Ali McClelland also confirmed that. And don't get me wrong, the Astra for normal driving and for diffing, great job, because it's small, feeds, but you can't do the catch, and at least it just did not return at all. It was like when you tried to turn the steering wheel, it felt like someone had actually it felt like there was resistance on it.
Good for driving, not for drifting.
Yes.
Okay.
Nail on the head. Another thing I need to do is get harnesses into it. Safely.
Yes, for safety.
Safely, like, rather than just trying to bodge them in, like, because you could fluff it, but I wasn't going to do that. Is that your stomach?
It's the 7-Up is coming up.
Ah, yes. Fair.
In wind form. And it's now going down below.
And what else? Car needed a good service. Just a good check all over. I have a list of all the stuff. Need to sort out the seats as well and put a new steering wheel in her. So was like, okay, fine. We'll put the car in the lift. Well, actually, before putting the car in the lift, I jacked the car up and said I'd fit a new IRP shifter. So remote shifter.
So to fix basically your actual gear linkage.
And he gave me it's basically a short shifter, but it's also self-centering, and it has a much better, it nearly sounds like a sequential when you're putting it into gear now.
And it's fancy.
It is pretty cool looking, to be fair, but it needed, so in typical fucking Sierra format, it's supposed to be for a BMW. It doesn't. Calvin has it in his Lexus, and I was like, right, well, if it fits a Lexus, I should be able to make it fit the Sierra. Needed a little bit of modification, to say the least.
Well, it's not a BMW.
No, it's not a BMW. It's a BMW box, you see. So it was still the right job, but a few things. First of all, the way the gearbox is set up in my Sarah, I think, to be fair, right, if you were to go and do the whole thing properly again, you would just put in a longer shifter rod. But the way it's sitting at the minute works, so it was easier for me to just modify the ARP. And to be honest, the way it's sitting, still grand.
So basically, you had to take your new shifter and you had to budget it back to make it work.
The grinder. So then I had to make an adapter plate. Got that all together. Had to, like, one of our problems was it was sitting too high because I have an adapter plate on. It was sitting too high, and I had to get it, the whole thing lengthened. So I had to get a bushing all made for it to get it. You know, basically where it goes through at the bottom of the shifter through into the box, like. There's a grub screw, but I had to put it further down, and I was that scared about whenever you're changing gears or changing, like, that it would maybe pop out or break or bend. So I got, like, literally another piece put on the bottom just to hold the whole thing strong, like, just trying not to take any half measures here, like. So that took a while to get it because I wanted it done right. After that, then the power steering was the next thing to sort, and ended up having to go to Adam Clyde's and get a few bits and pieces. And I was at Adam's till like 12 o'clock on like the Tuesday night trying to find parts then to come home into the shed and then fit in the power steering rack. Also found out that my bottom arms, the way they were set up, was a wee bit questionable. I would like to redo the bottom arms to get them out wider, but that's a story for another day. But I don't think the setup I have at the minute is great, but I fitted new ball joints and stuff, so new tie rods and all. So to be honest, if the MOT man ever looks at her now, he'll go, "Oh, okay, there's been money spent on this thing," but it's needed it for lifetime, so I'm glad I done it. What else then? That come up to Tuesday night. Then Thursday we were back trying to get the seats welded, trying to get the car serviced, trying to get the steering finally sorted out. My head's gone wonky with that many different things. But Friday then, the idea was, I'll get home from work, I'll finally get everything finished in, and I'll hopefully be an early evening. And it wasn't. Anything that just could have went wrong just seemed to go wrong. Like, I put the seat in, and the second I had the seat in, like, something cracked on it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, right, well, I'm glad the welds broke here and not on the track. So I had to take the seat out, get all re-welded. By the time we got all together, and as I say, I had to put extra things in for the harness, so I had to wait on that coming. And it was Brendan Kearney actually sorted that out for me. Do you want to hear a really, really fun fact? Really,
okay,
really fun fact.
Go ahead.
So Brendan Kearney, BK Electrical, he's been drifting for a lot of years.
Okay, yeah.
And him and Sturdy Gordon and a few other of them lads all would have run about together back in the day. Brendan was telling me that, and he goes, sure, I used to rent the shed off use. So at the top of our yard, the middle shed, I remember, we're talking 15 years ago, there was a couple of drift cars in that shed.
Okay, yeah.
Those are probably the vehicles that got me into the drifting. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the drifting from, like, even Need for Speed Underground games, but
yes,
the whole Japanese car thing and all that, like, that was, and, like, you know, the liveries and the body kits, like, that was my introduction to all that. And I used to go up on the bike and kind of like cycle around and hang about, because I don't think I would have been maybe 15 at this point. Like,
okay, of course,
this is a long time ago, and them boys used to store the car in the shed for a while. But the farm, us being young, the farm was a bit dilapidated by that stage, and I think, you know, a farm shed just wasn't really the place for them, for cars of that calibre to be sitting.
Yes.
And so after maybe a year or so, they packed up and moved on. Do you know what one of the cars that was sitting in that shed was? And actually you do, because I told you off air. But
I'm trying to act like you haven't told me yet.
I couldn't believe this. Whenever Brendan said this to me the other night, I nearly fucking shit myself. I was like, are you serious? So he was like, you know that, so one of the cars that lay up in that up in the shed was the red S13 that Neil Sheehan now owns. Like, that is, like, we talked about a couple of podcasts ago with Jack and all, and he was saying, oh yeah, you know, Neil Sheehan's video is like, you know, the first like three or four cars in the video, he was like, they're all in sheds like close to here. One of the cars was actually in the shed beside where we were at, and like all these legend cars he's on about. And then now I'm sitting looking at this going, well, actually one of the legendary cars was here.
Fuck.
Like, at this farm. Like, that's fucking mental.
You just don't hear that story every...
I couldn't believe it, like, when he told me. I haven't done really much of a good job of explaining the whole thing leading up to the drift day, and to be honest, because there's that much happened since, my head's mush. But
you're tired? Are you making me fucking you?
My head's mush. But look, I'm actually doing a video, 2 videos, one on the drifting and one on the preparation, when I get a chance to make it. So I'll explain all. So
I even helped out a wee bit maybe that day.
You were there a couple of times, back and forward, yeah.
Did I not video a wee bit too?
Yeah, you helped me out with the gear shifter. So there's a right bit there altogether, like, so. And then there's also the story tanker video on top of that. But anyway,
so anyway, you got to the Friday night. You got all sorted.
Friday night, I think me and Reese had loaded the car onto the trailer at, I think, 1:25, and we were to be on the road at 3:45.
Fuck.
Yeah. So we're like, right, 2 hours sleep. I got back to the house. Me and Reese got back to the house, and Reese, for anyone listening, Reese is Reese Bruce, our podcaster friend from Aberdeen, who linked in with us a couple of years ago at the LZ Fest, and now he's just sort of become like an honorary pit crew member since.
That's right.
So Reese was like, look, I want to come over for a holiday, you know what, I wouldn't mind coming over to the drifting, can I tag along with you? And I was like, yeah, fuck, sure. Hey, best of a creator. Like, the amount of help that wee lad gave me, like, over the weekend was unbelievable. Like, so fair play to him.
Did he have any abuse to take? Did he have any abuse to take from you?
Not overly. I tried to hold my tongue the best I could.
Because we know when you get overstimulated, what it can be like.
Yeah, because Adam's seen it firsthand too. But I'll explain all that in a bit.
So you got on the road to Mondello.
We got on the road to Mondello. I hadn't slept a wink. Adam landed down to the yard then. Adam McCartney, I suppose it's worth pointing out as well, Adam has joined the team to do a bit of media.
That's right, yes. So, in typical Michael fashion, yeah, pretty much. I was like, you know, fuck, the page has been very active.
Well, actually, Adam asked me just, could he post on the page?
Oh, no,
and I gave him the details. I said, fuck, actually, this makes perfect sense for you to do all the video.
So basically going forward, there was storm competitions there recently. I suppose there Saturday.
Yeah,
had a Cars and Coffee. And it was posted on the page quite a lot about it. But so Adam has come on for a lot of the media side of things.
Adam, yeah, look, Conor with the fireman, me with just all the mechanicking and getting shit and all together around here.
We don't have time to get to some events.
We don't get to as many events as we like, and we still like the coverage. Adam, he works shifts, so if he can go to things, he can. Like, he's recently just got the golf and all sorted, so he's buzzing to get back into the scene after a bit of a break for a while. So he's joined to kind of look after the media.
Plus, he used to be a photographer.
Yeah, he was, and some of the photos he took with the weekend were absolutely shit hot. Like, so he's come on, and if and when we don't record on a Monday or Tuesday night, and because he works shifts, he could be either going to work on a Monday night, or he could be, you know, depending, he could be going to work on a Monday night, he could be just coming back from work as we're starting to record, just depends. So
he was unable to make tonight, or else we were going
to be honest, he'll probably not be on that often, just with the way his shift pattern works, but if and when we can cater for him, he'll be here. So it's good to have him on as well. So the three of us took down the road. Adam at least had got a little bit of sleep. Got to Mondello. He's standing on me. I was like, right, got the car, got checked in, got my wristband, got everything. And I was like, okay, we'll start the car up. And the car would not idle. She would not idle. Now, I've been having this problem for a while. The car would not idle. And I was like, what a balls. Finally, just after getting her warm for a while, she finally started to idle. That was fine. Just the car takes a long time to get warm, and she does throw. I need to get the map adjusted. She throws. She's too rich in it. She's too rich when she's cold. So, but then that being said, if you were to get in the car and just drive her, she'd probably warm up fairly quickly.
Yeah, of course.
But when she's sitting around waiting, she doesn't. So, like, I'll explain it all in a bit. So that was grand. First thing I did was like, do you know what? I'll go out and I'll do a couple of runs of the track, the drift paddock.
Right, yeah, so the paddock track, you want to try that?
So I was like, yeah, second gear, same as last time. The only difference was last time at JDM Classics, the drift track was kind of half wet and quite greasy.
Yeah, of course.
This time it was dry.
How'd you find it?
That car's far too fast. And to be fair, I hadn't got on to properly giving her, but like, maybe boys will tell you, oh no, you're just not driving her right. And that's probably true. But I was just like, this thing's just launching too much for me. You know, like this is an area where you mess about in first gear, or maybe second gear. But for me to give her full throttle second gear, in the dry, this is just too fast.
Yeah, you need to be, handbrake and left foot brake quite a lot.
Yeah, so, which at the time hadn't really got on to any of that. So that was alright. Came back out, done a couple of runs, and then said, fuck it, I might go to the track here. So I tried the main loop. No. They're running it in reverse as well. Like, I tried to kick a couple of times, spun out twice in the first run. I was like, I have made a complete embarrassment myself. Like, I was just a bit squandered. I was like, fuck it, I'll go to the back track. And second gear, stayed in second, was trying to sort of just learn the course. And I was finding when I was coming, I was pulling the hydro handbrake, and I would, clutch bang to go sideways, and the car would just cut out, just stop. This kept happening time and time again. Not every corner, just some corners. Car just cut out. So you'd be coming in on the hydro, you go to kick it, and nothing. Or she slide, cut, and then the next thing you're spinning out and having to start the car again. And I was like, what the actual fuck's going on here? So then I was like, I can't get on this at all. Car's not working right. Stephen Heyman was like, to be honest, like, drift games talk a massive talk about safety, and they have to. And to be fair, like, that bash was probably one of the best. Well, they've said it's the best run event that they've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. There was very little red flags. The track action never really stopped, as far as I'm aware. I know of one guy who got kicked out, and to be honest, he was involved with me at one point. He nearly drove under the back of me, wouldn't give me any space, didn't listen to marshals. I'm not surprised. So that was alright. Stephen Haim was like, look, jump in with me, leave the car. And things like that, whenever you're in the cool down area, you can get out of the car, check your temperatures and all that, like, and they're really dead on that way. But Stephen was like, look, leave the car, get harnessed up, come in with me. This is Stephen Hyman, who also has a Saab engine in an E36.
Okay, yes.
And I was like, okay, that'll do. And he showed me like the speeds you have to be coming in and how to do it, etc. And I was like, right, okay. So I'm seeing how he's trying this. I'm going to go and try the same. Stephen also has a limit slip differences sticker in his back window.
Oh, deadly,
yeah,
yes.
It's class. And one of the banners in the race lorry.
Deadly.
So, like, I was buzzing when I seen all this. So I jumped on with him for a bit. He showed me a couple of runs. But he was staying in second gear. But he is a shorter range. He's the same gearbox as me, but longer range diff. So I have a 3.9, he's a 2.9. And that is very important, as it turns out. So he was able to get enough speed in second gear. He stayed in second gear, and he was firing her about the track, having the best of crack. And he was like, oh, that wasn't really a good run. And I was like, well, you went sideways and linked the whole thing. I'm pretty sure that was alright. But I suppose the better you get, the more you kind of start judging yourself. Yeah, of course. For me, even just linking the track would be, a pipe dream. And to break the fourth wall, Conor had to go for a pee.
7-Up is making me piss like fuck these days. Funny enough.
As I was saying, so Stephen obviously was doing it second. I was like, right, I'll go and try it again here. Oh, busting us. So I was like, I'll go and try it again here. Tried it a bit more. Car still kept cutting out. I was like, this just isn't good enough.
No. You're like, fuck this car.
Yeah, I was like, maybe, because then I was like, do you know what? Maybe this car isn't just set up for drifting. Maybe it's just not, because the car is a baffled sump. Andy McClellan put considerable length of time and figuring out to get the sump set up right in that car. It's rear mounted, so it's a rear bowl sump. So it's everything about that car is ideal for drifting.
Of course, yeah. And it's not doing what you want it to do.
So cutting out, I was like, I was thinking it's definitely the oil pressure switch.
Okay.
Right. So that was
it's definitely oil.
Yes. Yes. So,
Sorry.
look, and to be honest, I'm glad it did it.
Yes.
I'm glad it was doing its job. It was frustrating. Next thing, got down to the pits. Lloyd happened to be just walking through, bumped into Lloyd Patterson. I was like, well, here, Lloyd, question for you. Don't want to annoy you too much, but like, having a problem here. And he goes, no, I'll get the laptop. I was like, I appreciate it, but like, don't worry. And then he said, you think it's oil pressure cut off? And I was like, I do. I was like, it would make sense when you're going in a transition, or going on initiation, and the oil slushing on one side. He goes, you've a rear bowl sump? And I goes, yes. And it was him and Tomas Valvey was standing, and he was like, maybe if you overfill the sump, he goes, you don't do this for a road car. He's like, but if you're drifting, he's like, and you're coming back and constantly checking the car, which we were doing, to be fair. He was like, just all I'll do is fill your catch can. And I was like, right, okay, fair enough. And
what does catch can actually do then?
In general?
No, like what is the purpose of the catch can? Just
basically, normally, like on the top of your engine, the rocker cover normally has like a one-way vent that if there's any extra build up of oil or anything, that like any oil vapor, any oil or whatever, gets in the head. Basically, on a normal car, it leaves the head and back in through the inlet, where it then gets burnt and just sent out the exhaust. A catch can is used typically for engine like applications where there's a bit more revs or whatever. Basically, instead of going in and being burnt in the exhaust, it comes out and it just gets caught in a catch can. So basically, if you've got if your engine's working hard and breathing a bit harder, any oil that's maybe sitting on the top, rather than it's basically a way of getting it out of the engine rather than maybe blocking and not returning back properly. It just gets rid of it. As far as I understand, that's what it's for.
So whenever you overfill your car with oil,
maybe sitting listening going. But basically, the more oil you have in your car, the more it's going to put out.
Of course.
So that's what they were saying. So he's
how much did you overfill it by then?
Well, to be honest, I put an extra litre in it, and I seen very little come out the catch can.
Did much come out the exhaust?
No.
Maybe it was just that you
needed a bit more oil. I think so, to be honest.
Did you dip her before you started?
Yeah, she was fine.
Was she a max?
She would have been.
Would have been and was.
She was where she was where I thought she should have been. Now she's reading a bit too high, but she's still not taking anything out of the catch can.
Yes, but what I mean is, was she sitting at max?
She was sitting, so because the Saab engine is a different dipstick, it's not like
max
custom sump. It's what's max isn't max on the gear stick, that because it's a different sump setup.
Okay.
So
right.
we have worked it out where it should be reading when it's full, which is about maybe a third up the dipstick.
Okay.
I have the dipstick sitting full now.
At max?
At the actual max of the dipstick, but that's not the max of where the engine should be. It's different sump.
Well, out of curiosity, would your oil sensor for the level in the car?
I have no oil level sensor. It's only pressure.
Oh.
It's only a pressure switch.
Okay, right.
So basically, the way
maybe
my car,
she just needs to be overfilled the oil.
Yes, that's basically whenever my car's set up that if she drops below 30 psi on over 60% throttle, she shuts off.
Okay.
So basically, if you overfill her, she keeps her just ever so topped up.
Yeah.
So as soon as I done that, filled her, went back out.
Did you find she burnt any?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay.
There's no blue smoke coming out of her.
No. I understand that.
But
yes.
she probably is burning off a wee bit of eye. She always has. There's always been, especially on boost, there's always been a bit of an oily smell.
Yes.
But she wouldn't be smoky. Touch wood. So I went out, done a couple of runs, and then on the third run, I was like, this car's going unreal. Starting to get the course, starting to slide. It was like, this is class.
Yes.
And then thought, final run, fuck it, third gear, kicked it, big long corner in the back section, done that, deadly. I thought it was great. Came round, Jay Percival standing doing like X up, man. I was like, oh no, am I in trouble? And he goes, tracks off. And I was like, oh shit, like, is something I've done? He went, no. He goes, someone spilled oil. And then I was like, fuck, I was starting to shake. I was like, am I going to get in trouble here? Like, am I getting, like, are they going to, because they were like, if this happens and you ignore this or whatever, you're out.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want black flag, like, because that would be
The end of your weekend. And
I would just be a complete confidence crusher, like.
Yes, of
you
course.
just wouldn't. You know,
no, you don't want to be that guy.
yeah.
Yes.
So, and then the next thing, one of the marshals come round and he was like, "Did you not see the yellow flags?" I goes, "No, genuinely didn't." He goes, "Look," he's like, "I seen you slide in the top corner." I goes, "Yeah." He goes, "There's, track was off." I goes, "Genuinely, there's no yellow flags." He goes, "The marshals were on the track." I goes, "I can assure you, they weren't."
Okay.
I was like,
Yes.
But I was like, if they were walking from their post, I was like, and they were coming up, I was like, and they weren't waving the flags, I was like, fair enough. I goes, but I seen no flags. He went, right, okay, just take it easy. He says, by the way, I listened to the podcast. So I goes,
deadly.
okay, I'll take your name and give you a shout out. And he goes, look, he's like, his name was Finn. So Finn, sorry. But he said, look, just take it easy, drive back to the pits easy. He said, there's oil in the track. He says, look, just try and be mindful. I was like, look, genuinely didn't see any flags. I was on my own. There was nobody else.
You probably said this over 10-minute interval too.
Yeah. Easily. And kept saying, don't like being shouted at. I'm so sorry. All that's here. Anyway,
No mommy.
that was grand. Went back to the pits, obviously. Behaved myself as you would do.
Yes, no, of course.
I would do that anyway.
Of course, yeah.
But came out and I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm really happy with how that went. I'm going to go and try and now slide the main track. And came out and went to initiate the handbrake, and the hydro handbrake just came straight back. And I went, oh no, and put my foot in the brakes. Brake pedal went straight to the floor. And I went,
Well, what the fuck do you do now?
oh no. So
What happened?
I'll tell you.
No, I'm trying to get through it here, yes.
So I came into the pit, and next thing there's a puddle lying underneath the car, and I was like, fuck me. Jacked the car up. So rear brake, I have a braided brake line. Under all the kicking, braided brake line must have just maybe constantly pulling the hydro handbrake, must have just moved around, rubbed in the drive shaft, burst in the drive shaft. So this is what I'll say about the drifting community is, like, you could leave your tools out all weekend, not a being would touch them. Like, maybe, at Mondello anyway, everything you have is safe. Like, just nobody will take anything belonging to you, and everybody just wants to help everybody. And there's a few examples of this I'll give over the weekend. But so I was sitting there going, fuck me, you need a brake line. And like, I wrote into the group chat going, anyone got a brake line? And there's 2 or 3 boys, like your man Ericus, do you know, with that 3:30 p.m. from Tyrone, he wrote and said, look, I'm not far from here, my shed's not far from here. If you're bit, I'll bring some stuff back up for you and sort you out. So like, everybody was so helpful.
I'm more than helpful. Yeah.
Everybody was so helpful. But Stephen Hyman, so I came over to him and seen he was lying underneath his car and he had busted a prop shaft. And he was like, oh, my gun's too light, can't get it to work. I was like, do you have brake line? And he was like, I do actually. And he's like, and I have fittings and all as well. I goes, right, I'll help you do your prop shaft, and then if you can help me do the brake line, that'll be great. So like, my gun was heavier than his gun. So
yours
my
is
gun
a fuel Milwaukee.
Mine was able to rattle the stuff off, his couldn't. And we stood and we got the prop shaft and all built back together, helped him out with that. And then he come back and done the brake line in my car. Then me and Reese bled. Went to the back track, tried a few more runs. She started cutting out again. I was like, so I followed her up even more. Came back and I said to Reese, I goes, this thing's still not going right. She's still not locking the hydro when I pull. There's still definitely air in the lines. Jacked the car up, had a bleeder again. Bearing in mind, this whole time I was still on the same set of tires.
Yes.
Right. So this is an interesting point. So that was grand. Finally got everything bled. Went to go and just with one thing and another, and sort of a wee bit of a sore point. Couldn't get away in time to get back to do another couple of laps of the track. I just get held up with a few different things, and yeah, look, I suppose a highlight is if I'm at a track day, I'm there to drive and I want to drive, and I got held back by a few different things, and it was a wee bit of a sore point, to be honest, because I missed out on a bit of track time and a bit of experience. But anyway, coming up to that was fine. Saturday night finished, and I wasn't really in the best of forms. I was very, very tired. Hadn't slept all day. Hadn't slept really.
I think it's more like, yes, regardless of whatever held you back, I think it's a culmination of things. Things weren't going your way.
No,
you had no sleep.
No sleep.
And Michael, when things are not going his way, is bad. But when he has no sleep as well, is you're not great.
No.
And just with the way everyone
and
went,
stress.
Yeah, well, the way everyone went, obviously,
So me and Dale,
you'd obviously mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm. Me and Dale McGill went out then. Dale came as a passenger with me to go and do a run, and then Jay Percival was like, "Nope, track's finished." And I was like, balls. So that was that. Now, got home Saturday night, and went to bed and
out of it,
out like that.
But between adrenaline, tiredness,
exhaustion,
everything. Oh, you were probably surviving just on adrenaline that day.
I wasn't. I was sort of like, you know what, like. Has it been good? Has it been bad? I've learned a lot about the car. These problems here, bit shitty, bit upset with things not really going that well. But to be fair, there was that section in the middle of the day where the car had been going really well, and I was like, "This is class." So I was like, "If I can build on that, that'll be great." Yeah. So that was grand. Came in again, let the car warm up, filled a bit more oil into it. Then the next thing I said to Dylan Wilson, I was like, "Dylan, would you mind coming out with me a run and seeing what the crack is?" And Dylan was like, yeah, I will, no problem. Because Dylan also had quite heat injector failure. Oh. Same problem as me, we think. Well, we don't know, but basically he could only run the car on the Saturday. The car couldn't run on the Sunday because injectors, and like with Lloyd mapping his car too, same as mine. Lloyd's not going to put anything to chance. So it's not a case of just fitting another 1000cc injector and away you go. Like, it has to be flow tested. They all have to be the same. That is the way Lloyd has it all drilled into us. Like, I'd be the same. I just wouldn't fit another injector to a car and go, because it could be too lean, it could be too rich. Like, so that's so Dylan's weekend was finished on the Saturday. It's a shame.
Oh, completely. Whenever you spend so much money on that.
They actually left early on the Sunday, but Dylan came out around with me, and then the first thing I let her go, and Dylan was like, "This is actually quite a fast car," and I was like, "Yeah." But the fact that a drifter man with a 2JZ BM saying that, I was like, maybe this is actually quite sharp.
Yes.
And so anyway, he was like, "You'd want to be going for third." I was like, "I don't have the confidence." And he goes, "Okay, at your own pace." He's like, "But don't do the..." So we did like one lap of the big track. He goes, "Look, if you want to do second gear," he goes, "the big track's not for you." I goes, I agree. Let's do the back track.
Yeah, of course.
So went up to the back track. I done a lap, and he goes, "First thing I've noticed," he goes, "you're initiating far too early," which makes sense because I was initiating, and then the car would push on and she'd understeer.
Okay.
And he says, "You're not letting the car go out wide enough before you kick." He's like, "So there are two things." He goes, he's like, "Initiate later," he goes, "and let her go a bit wider." And that's just confidence as much as anything else.
Aye, but like, no practice,
and not knowing the car either.
And plus, with Dylan in, who obviously has a lot of experience, you're like, it's like having a driving instructor in beside you. He's straight away telling you your faults.
I'll probably let Dylan drive that the next time. If we were at an event and he's there, I'll let him drive that. Like, not a bother. I sort of half owe it to him now. But we came in anyway. He goes, "Right, I'll tell you when to brake," and he goes, "And I'll tell you when to get on." So I came in, handbrake, and the car was like, "Fuck me, we're going to slide out." Got on the throttle, away she went, and I was like, "Right, okay, there's definitely mileage in this." So I did 2 or 3 laps with Dylan. Dylan goes, "Look, you're getting onto here." He's like, "I really would recommend you go up a gear." I goes, "I know, I need to at some point, but I don't have the confidence at the minute."
Yes, of course.
Then decided, right, I'll come back in, put water in the car, check the oil, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck it, was still in the same set of tyres. And after coming in with Dylan, I was like, do you know what, I'll maybe change them now.
Yes.
Went to another set of tyres. That was fine. Went to the back track again, done a lap with Adam in second gear. Next thing, got a phone call, Ali McLeland. And it was like, "There's a man here says he's looking at third gear. Well, you give him a third gear.
Yes.
He needs a third gear. I went, fuck it, right, fine, I'll try third. Came in, made an absolute balls of the first initiation, tried to link the corner, made a complete hames of it, came to like this hairpin in the backtrack, changed in the second, then done third round the big bend, that was fine. Phone call again, don't fucking come out of third gear, stay in fucking third gear. He goes, you don't need to be going second gear. I went, fine, fuck you, I will. And there's a video of it. I took a video and I took the whole thing in third and I started to be able to properly link.
I could, yes.
And I was just like, okay,
I get it.
maybe there is a bit of mileage in this.
It's not like they would have more experience than you.
No, not at all. But Ali was saying, he goes, you're coming in that corner, second gear. He's like, in the second you come off the clutch, you're hitting the limiter. He's like,
Yes.
so you're full wheel speed. So what was happening is the car was just simply straightening. You know, you'd slide a bit and then it was fine. And it's a weird concept to get your head around. And it's a confidence thing. That the faster you go, the easier it is. And that's genuinely true. And any drifter will tell you that, obviously within reason. But my car is, once you, thought the screen jumped there for a second, once you get on to how the thing actually moves,
Yes.
you're driving on the throttle rather than clutch banging.
Okay, yes.
Which makes sense. So I was like, right, backtrack, this car is now maybe a wee bit too fast in third gear for, I would like a bit more space because the backtrack's quite technical, which is why I was happy to sit in second gear. So I was like, do you know what, fuck it, we'll go out and we'll do the big trick. And I did a couple more laps at him, and on the second set of tyres, I think after like 4 or 5 laps, that they were like, you could hear tuk tuk tuk, and I was like, oh. So it turns out the grip levels between third and second are massive. So I got a full day, like maybe 20 laps on a set of tyres in second gear.
Fuck.
I was getting 5 laps in third. So anyway, came on to the main track, got the body clothes back on again.
What speed would you have been doing in third?
Honestly, I don't know.
Would it have been 60?
Probably, aye.
Well, there, I suppose you would spend it 60
probably would have been every bit of it, aye. Probably close to 80 by the time you're coming off the limiter, you know. I would say third gear limiter, probably close. So, come in then to the main track, and first couple of times doing the big corner, turn 1, and then turn 2, it was hard to get the angle to figure out how to do it, but I done it the first time round with Paul Higgins behind me, pure fluke. Came in, got to the hedges as they call it, done it there, and sort of kind of half made a wee bit of a mess up and got onto it, and then sort of got round, and then a couple of laps I spun a few more times, but from the hedges onwards, like I started, like after that I was linking it every time. So come out of the hedges, round the back part of the track, across where like everybody's standing, and then after a while I was like, oh, the car's maybe going, like she's nearly feeling like she's going to straighten on me. Left foot brake. Just was like, we thinks I'll try this, and you can see actually in the videos, you can see me putting on the brake lights.
Okay, yes.
And that's me left foot braking to kind of nearly build up the wheel speed and stall the car back a wee bit to keep the angle.
Yes.
And then what I was noticing, like you can see the first few videos, like I'm fighting with the steering, but by the end of it, if you were to watch like me, you'd see I'm barely touching the steering wheel.
Yes, of course.
And I'm nearly driving the car on throttle. And it's like just letting the car go, and as she slides, and that's just learning. You know, the weight transfer of the vehicle takes the steering wheel with you.
Of course.
Like, don't get me wrong, I have a load of learning to do, and would I be that keen on sliding it on the road?
You can't.
Well, I can't, but I don't know. Like, it's one of them things where it's like, yeah, you probably could,
but you can't.
But you can't. You wouldn't. But you know, it's like,
but you can't.
But you can't. And you're sort of thinking like, it's still sketchy. Like,
and it's good because you can't.
No, I'm just talking in general.
Aye.
But like, the only thing I would say is the car has absolutely no lag. Like, that turbo is perfectly sized. Like, third gear, basically nearly 2,000 RPM coming out of the hedges. Third gear, you kick it,
she's on
and
song.
she goes, and she just builds, and then you can just, all you have to do is tap the throttle, and if you think she's going to, like, it's, as explained to you earlier off camera, you come in and you think and you can, because there's actually a video of me doing this where I come into the corner and I kind of take fear. The only way to keep going is to bury your foot in the throttle and kick the back end out a bit more.
Yes.
Where if you lift off, she'll straighten. Especially with the camber I have at the front, you need to be sideways. But that Sunday was like a complete. If you had said to me in the Saturday night, but don't worry, by Sunday tomorrow evening you'll be linking most of the main track, I'd have laughed at you.
Well,
the only thing I haven't got on to is manging. I'm not a good manger. Never was good.
But look, you've literally had one drifting
even
day.
in the Alteza, I could slide.
It's confidence thing, I would say.
I could slide Eggleton, but I could never mangy. Like,
again, a confidence thing, I would say.
Maybe but still, it was class. Like,
An amazing experience.
The Sunday was so different. Like,
probably a good bit of it was you had a good sleep too.
I think that did genuinely help. Less panicking and all, but just see, to be honest, on the Sunday, like, yeah, the car does get warm. The car's not still without wee niggles. 2 or 3 or 4 hard runs, she does start to lift the hand a wee bit.
Okay, yes.
But
it's to be expected. You're giving
she's not boiling. She's not in the red, apart from one run, and that was actually before we were out. We were sitting. She was nearly in the red, but we were sitting for fucking ages waiting, and I was like, "Oh dear." And the fans were on, but then I put 3 litres of water on her.
3 litres of water.
Aye. So
even the cow had a scream there. Go,
yeah.
What?
But she was. See, the temps were good all, and I'd put water in her. See, she has a wee leak, a wee pinhole leak. And I reckon she was just probably dropping bits of water over the weekend, because you go to her and there was no puddle lying under her or nothing, like.
Yes.
But she does a wee pinhole leak. So look, I just
evaporating out of it, like.
I just topped her up with water again, and then look, see, for to be honest, for normal running, like, she doesn't like sitting in traffic that long, but nothing that's really highly tuned does.
Yeah, no, of course.
So she's okay even for the traffic in Donegal. She's fine, like. But if I could just sort this idle out, but then she'll be warm by the time she's at Donegal anyway, so it'll be fine. But fuck me, what a car! Like,
John knows something, and I don't often say it, Michael, but I've been through the highs and lows with you. I've called and seen the highs and lows. But to see the video of her actually linking the track, I was just like, you can fucking drive that thing better than in craic.
Honestly, it's probably nearly easier.
Yeah.
After a while, now don't get me wrong, the mangins, where you come out of turn 2 and head down to the hedges, like, there are boys that'll just link that full thing.
Yes, but at the same time,
at that stage.
Say whenever you go to do another bash,
yeah,
you'll be rusty. A couple of laps in,
yep.
Come back to you. It's like anything.
I'm already sitting going, yeah. I like, if I go to, like, even when I went to Bishop's Court, if I went out to the track, I'd just go, fuck it, like, away we go, like, just clutch, kick, bang, away you go, and you would just get onto it, I think. But honestly, what I will say is, for, like, people keep going to me like, oh, you're mental taking, like, a road car to the Drift Games Bash, and I completely disagree. Oh, one other thing, I'm just looking at the wheel here, I give her a bit more caster, so that'll help the wheel return a bit. And if
what does that mean?
Push the wheel forward.
Okay.
Caster helps your wheel return faster, your steering wheel return faster. Pushing it forward, whatever way it works. I should know this being an engineer, but I don't. Basically pushing it forward basically makes your steering wheel return quicker.
Okay.
Same as towing out a wee bit. Ali was like, you shouldn't have it towed out a bit, but don't know, from looking up a few other videos, people had said towing it out a wee bit helps. But like, what was I saying? Back to just the car in general. Like, people were like, you're an idiot, you're mental taking that to Drift Games Bash. I just said to the stewards, give me space. Marshals, give me space.
And they give you it.
Apart from one dick, and that wasn't a marshal, that was a driver.
Yes.
Apart from one dick. And as I said, he got kicked off the run after me for not obeying a marshal. So we were sitting in the hero line, and there was two pros went, and he just decided to go on with them. So, fuck him. You play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Of course.
Maybe he listens, in which case, well,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And fucking, there's a video where you can see him coming in like hot to the back of my car, like, and there's not that much, and like, you'd have known with me coming out of the corner, you'd known looking at me that I'm not the most confident. You know,
Yeah.
you just know it's a shaky line, it's a shabby enough line, and here's him coming in hot behind me, and I was just like,
Yeah.
you not think that like you'd see me and just go, do you know what, I might give this guy a bit of space. No, I came into the hedges and then just kicked her out and just let him go by me. I was like, no, I'm not having that behind me. I don't want that pressure behind me. But yeah, like I learned more driving that car in one weekend than I have had with all the time she's been on the road, because even on the main straight of Mondello, second gear planter, she kicks up the back tyres. Third gear planter, she kicks up the back tyres. So what? Like, you're on a track, what's going to happen? You spin out.
Hit a wall.
Unlikely.
No.
But it's unlikely. You'll just probably spin out. Whereas on a road,
Yes.
you're much.
Well, but you don't do it on a road. You can't do it on a road.
But that's what I mean. But if you put the foot down third gear hard, and she did light up the tires.
You know you know how to handle it now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that was the whole idea of why I done this. And like, you know, if something had happened where I had have mashed her, and like there's one particularly close call at the hedges. I came in sideways and went to go, and instead of car going sideways, she just went straight and drove me up onto the curb, and I was like, fuck! And I was thinking I'd maybe smashed the splitter, but
Yes.
I hadn't done no damage to her at all.
Oh, happy days.
I did raise her up a bit at the front though, as you can see.
Yes.
She has risen up a wee bit, but
Helps to look over.
no, she's going down for dub shed. Like,
No, it helps to look over.
she's going down for dub shed.
No, it helps to look over. She's now flush, she's not like nose diving.
I like them those days.
Not.
But I've smaller tyres at the rear now too. So she's a bit, if you look, she's a bit more, do you know
What size is it in the rear now?
205/40.
I'd still put 195/40 to have them all around.
No. And the next thing to do is camber plates to decamber. I have camber plates in, that was another thing I fit it. Decamber plates. She's just because she's that low. Well, I say she's that low just because the way Sierras are. Apparently you can do things like slotting the rear arms and all on them too, but I don't know how I feel about that. So I might look into getting a decamber plate. Taylor Laverty has like a 5-axis milling machine in his work.
Yes.
And he was chatting to me. He says, look, any bits you need, give me a shout. So if me and Ali could maybe sit and work out how to align the wheel up and where it should be, and I knew exactly what it was going to be, I would just get Taylor to make me a spacer of them exact things, and it could be like 2.3 mil here and 3.1 mil here, and etc. And that would be the job.
Happy days.
But yeah, like, so I don't think we've went on too long here, but it's yeah, very, very happy with my drift day. I'm fucking buzzing. Like, anything new with you?
So I was trying to get down to the drift day on the Sunday, but
Shit happens.
it just like sort of by the time I would leave and then get down, I'd only be down for 3 hours and then need to leave again just because
It's long enough at the same time, 3 hours when you're spectating. But then you would have been out in the car with me and all, I suppose, as well.
The last time I went down to Mondello was the drift experience.
Yes.
And it's funny, even from that small amount of driving, like the conversation we had whenever you came back, like I obviously called down earlier on last week, just being like, right, look, I'm buzzing for him, want to hear how you get on and, you know, first hand. And like, it's amazing the small amount of experience you can get with drifting. You can totally understand exactly what you're saying,
100%.
and you can totally understand exactly what I was coming out with, even though totally different ball games.
But my only experience to that prior was Eglinton in the Altezza.
Yes, of course. But in regards, I couldn't get down to Sunday. But really, farming updates. I've not a wild lot. It's quite a stagnant time.
Slurry?
I've been moving slurry around the tanks again just to keep everything right. We've probably need to get slurry out hopefully this weekend.
That's my plan this weekend. Slurry out.
We actually that's a week ago now. I dried off about a dozen cows, so all going well. They'll hopefully calve down. So I suppose one problem I would say with your feed to yield systems and all that is, and all the technology with the new parlours and that, and your heat detection systems and all, is whenever obviously your cow calves down, ideally you like to get her in calve 2 to 3 months after.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
To
if
kinda
you're
keep it in the same cycle within a year yet.
But if you're pushing an animal, it's only natural she's going to continue to produce milk. Now I tend to, in my own, is for probably a month before they're drying off, I essentially let the cow hit a brick wall with meal. So normally,
So you would take the meal off them?
sort of thing, yeah. So basically,
or minimum feed rate, nearly, so to speak.
yeah, you could say that. So they could be getting, say, I don't know,
They
say
go
they're
from
getting
8 kilos to
say-
4?
No, like from 8 kilos to 2. Like completely hit them in a brick wall, yes.
right.
More so, you cause a bit of stress in the animal, and then it hopefully weans it off.
Yeah.
No.
Some just hanging on.
Some hanging on, and to be honest with you, they probably milk a bit off their back, so a bit of condition off themselves, just to continue to milk.
Right.
Not a bad trait for them to have, but so how to continue to try and let the milk on, probably a bit by ideally. I know Andrew Wright, Farm Theory, likes to dry them off around 50 days pre-calving. Some of mine I had to do it around 42 to 43.
Okay.
Aimed for that.
Yeah.
Some of them might be a bit sooner, and it's like anything. Whenever you have so many cows, you make the odd fuck up, and
Happens.
I did. But we've had, I suppose, in the last 2 weeks, we've another 4 or 5 calve down, and it shows just how much if a cow does get the full 2 months. 2 months of a break compared to 3 weeks to a month. I fucked that cow's lactation now completely.
Right.
Whereas she hasn't had long enough. She's only like sort of, you say our bag's only sort of, what's the best way of putting it? Depending obviously on the animal, but say if the animal's still producing quite a lot of milk, by the time that bag settles down,
She's way past.
she's now about to calve down again.
Ah.
Whereas, I had one calve down, she was only like 3 or 4 weeks dry. And like she had next to nothing of a bag. But I'll be honest, like there's only so many records you can keep up to date, and then there's sometimes it's just something slips
Especially when
through.
you're managing a lot of it on your own, like you will occasionally miss things, like.
But so all going well, they'll all calve down, going down to grass. If the weather continues to be good, it would be nice. Get them out to the grass early. Need to get some of the fertiliser on.
We'll see.
The ground's still very, as we talk about, green or sticky. So
it's very,
probably
very
need to
sticky
get
at the moment.
quad and fertiliser sower on. Like it costs a bit of money, yes, but like there's no rest of your ground in it.
That's where my wee Massey really comes into its own with the wee small fertiliser sower.
I'd even pay you to get somebody to spread it with a quad.
No, my wee Massey honestly genuinely leaves nothing on the ground, like.
I suppose she's that light.
She's that light. Like, my Massey weighs nothing with the wee small, like.
Oh, she'd still be 3 ton.
No, jeez, she wouldn't even be.
You sure?
Oh, 100%.
What, 2.5 ton maybe?
Maybe 2.
Well,
Genuinely, there's nothing to them. And
well,
you
realistically, when you take the cab off a modern tractor, there's nothing to a modern tractor.
she's a wee 3-cylinder Massey with half the metal missing. Like, she's not exactly a heavy tractor.
Fair enough.
2-wheel drive, like, a very primitive. I say half the metal missing. She's actually not that. She's actually incredibly solid. But she's not a big tractor. Like, I would say if she is 2 ton.
Aye, but modern Jeeps are now 2 ton.
100%. I think the Amarok's 2.4.
Aye, but she's definitely as heavy as Amarok.
Oh, well, yeah. But, she just floats across the road there. We have that, that's quite a wet field. And if you went on it in the Fiat, you would just start going down, Massey, glides over the top of it. So see with the wee small sower on, I've sowed with the wee small sower until recently. I bought the Viking Wagtail there, but until recently, like, I was only sowing. But
even
now
with 2 front tyres being like wee slits.
Genuinely.
Okay, fair enough. I could stand corrected.
She just sits on top of the ground. Why? I think it's just because it's that light. It just takes it.
Fair enough. I was still a set of quad and a sower was lighter.
Probably.
Well, in our like from learning last year, like we done all our silage ground with a quad. Like Conor McLaren had done it and never left the track. And sure, you seen yourself, like, but funny.
Plenty of ground on it, plenty of silage.
Obviously, through the likes of Facebook and that, there I've been looking, and turns out, fella not far from me, Matthew Miller, actually is the farmer that designs Splashits.
Okay.
Didn't know this until basically was at his yard and he was explaining all the reason for them. See, for separated slurry, they are the rod.
Right.
So there's no lines.
Okay.
And with the thing about them is, do you know the way we have the wagtail spread plate, and it's the same sort of principle as that, only obviously with a double bar, instead of going down and leaving lines, which you see like in the ground
it's
after
like droplet formation.
You know, so no, well, even the double bar, what I mean is, like it leaves lines in the ground, so after the silage cut off, you still see them.
Yeah.
So the splash it more or less leaves it sort of like I suppose you'd say similar to what the Moshe spread plate does. But I'd say in years to come, whenever things get ultra efficient, there'll be some job with a separated slurry, because you'll have nowhere near the same toxins coming in from the slurry and the silage.
Yeah.
Because I'd even say maybe part of the reason, like cows maybe wouldn't eat some grass or maybe drop in yield here and there with random blocks of silage bin is maybe just high in toxins or that there.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that there's not really a whole lot happened with me.
We got our ground tested there.
Well,
so this year, apart from the cat, like I've got dairy slurry to go on it this year, because remember last year I tried my trial between fertiliser only and one shed.
Literally putting dirty water on it.
You can see the difference. Well, this year I've managed the fellas to take a couple of sheds here. They're bringing it's dairy cattle, so I was like, look, fill up my tank because I have no cattle this winter. Don't even know if I'm going to have any cattle this year at all with the price of them. I think I'm just going to cut everything for silage.
It's not a year to be buying, and cattle prices don't look like they're going to go anywhere.
No, I'm going to just cut a load of silage this year,
especially
and maybe if I have to buy in September, October.
In Hungary, there's foot mouth outbreak, another one, and a farm I think of 1,400 head or something like that. Yeah, there is talks of that. It's not a year to buy, so I'm going to cut all. If I have to do 2 big cuts. What it'll mean is later part of the year I can buy more cattle to keep indoors if the prices come down. If not, just sell the silage. Like, this is the thing about being part-time, is you can literally do what you want. So I've got no... Well, on a smaller scale,
yeah, I've no stop. Even if I was going to buy 30 cattle, I would just... Like, there's just no mileage, and for me buying cattle at the minute, it's just ridiculous money.
You could buy in calves and rear them.
Still, that's what I would like to do, but paying £700 for a calf, no thank you. Drop calves are making £700. I'm hearing as far as $850 for drop calves.
Fuck.
Like,
no, I don't really pay attention to markets.
Like I give $475 or something per animal for them 4 I had that time.
What age did you buy them at?
One was 8 months, one was 7 months, one was 6 months, one was 5. So, $475, but he basically was saying, like, look, that one there's probably worth $550 and that one's probably worth $350, and
even them out.
I was happy with what I gave for him. I was happy enough with what I got for him. I thought the Belgian Blue would have made a wee bit more at market, but
That's what it is.
I'll just buy Angus or Limousin going forward. But not the year to be buying cattle. So I'm just going to cut all. So I'll do 2 cuts of bales probably and keep them. And then if I have, if it's,
you were better doing 3 cuts.
I can do 3 cuts as well. That's fine. But I was thinking for the 3rd cut, I was going to maybe reseed. But okay. I can do 3 cuts because I'll be going end of May. I'll be going again probably end of July. So I could do another one in September. It'd be fine.
Yeah, if you've no cattle, you might as well do good quality stuff.
And then and I'll have a shit ton of bales. I could go as far as buying 15 to 20 cattle, and I'd be late on grass the following year. But you would just
how would you be late in grass the following year?
Because you'd have more cattle than you would have acres.
Fair enough, just buffer feed then.
Yeah,
but if you're going to reseed, there'd be no point doing that.
Yeah,
you just end up tearing up the ground again.
Yeah, so I don't know what way to play it. Or do I just keep them on a little bit longer? And or just literally a half silage there, that if the grass does get a bit low, throw in the bales into them.
Yeah, you could probably just even buy away in the stores and just feed them the silage in over the winter.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That was the original plan.
You know, like
that's the original
cut
plan.
early, cheaper with the bales. They'll thrive better on it.
Yeah,
and then
the original plan was if prices fall by August, I'll buy. If prices don't fall, I don't buy. Simple as that. We move on to our guest.
We should now. I just like to comment and say that I've heard snippets of it. Michael has very much reminded me that this is on the drive, and it's completely eluded me all this time. But from the small snippets I have seen of it, Nathan is a fucking character. It's going to get scientific, from what I heard. Musical at the same time.
Very, very musical.
And Michael did, to be honest with you, sir, a fucking savage job in interviewing him. And
thank you.
The only thing is, though, he did say was it did get a wee bit farmerish, and
I was lost for a couple of bits. Could have done with you.
It would have been nice to be in there, but sure, look, things.
There's always a round two. We could have Nathan back again. He might even be up here, like so.
I'll let you introduce him then, Michael.
So yeah, this week's guest is Nathan Maher. Nathan's been in the works for a long time. Nathan is, a jack of all trades. Started off as a mechanic, went through, AI's cattle, has his own sort of wee company, which he plans on growing. He's also it's
a fucking pity he wasn't up round here.
I know. He does everything. He relief milks, he power washes yards, sheds. AI's cattle plan is down the line, hopefully to go and scanning cattle. That's big money apparently. Nearly ruined the podcast here. And then we do get very musical. What I'd like to suppose bring in is say, like, we don't get political with the music. Some of the stuff we're taking the piss out of, and it's all parody. I mentioned this in the podcast anyway, but none of this is to do with getting political. So look,
it's all just for fun.
It's all literally taking
and it's
the piss.
all lighthearted.
Yeah, all lighthearted. So with that, let me introduce you to. We're going to now transport from here. Conor's going to go missing, and I am going to be in Falvey's shed of all places. Yeah, Peter Falvey, previous podcast guest / much more famous celebrity. We recorded it in his shed because it was the easiest place for it to do it. He lives up the road from Nathan, and it was fucking class crack. So without further ado, here is Nathan Maher. So we're here now. I've got Nathan Maher with me.
How are you on?
Nathan is probably one of the most decorated guests we've had. Just with all the shit you do, like you've done so much stuff. We're also recording in Falvey's shed,
as we can see
here. This place is fucking mental. Falvey's not even here. We just needed a place to record, and Falvey was like, yeah, because you live 15 minutes from here.
Yeah, Falvey's only out the road.
Yeah, so we were literally like, yeah, sure, fuck it, we'll record here. So we're in Falvey's shed.
Yeah, go crack.
Nathan, we have so much to get through with this podcast. Like you yourself, the farming, the cars, the TikTok, and then the music.
Yeah,
you're the first singer-songwriter I've ever had in the podcast.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
sound.
And
am I supposed to curse or?
Oh, fuck, away. Fuck it, everyone asks that question. Yeah.
You never know, like.
Well, we've so much to get through, genuinely. Like, we've been sitting away playing music here for like the last fucking hour probably before this. And like, you didn't know I didn't know you were so big into it, and like you were talking about like songs and stuff you've written. You didn't know I was into music.
I didn't know you were into music at all.
Probably most of the listeners don't know that about me as well. Yeah,
like a fantastic fucking musician, let me say. He can play the banjo better than I can, and it's my fucking banjo. So you know what I mean?
I don't.
And the accordion, he can also play better than me. I can play the old favourite. This lad comes off and starts blaring fucking tunes. I was there nearly tapping my toe, going, "Fuck yeah, this is good crack!" Like, trance session in Falvey's shed.
Yes, honestly, it's one of the it's one of the moments where you're kind of going. You know what you were saying about coming down the road and you're like, oh, is it weird that you're sitting here with a lad you don't know and all this here? And I was like, no, because I said it's an in the moment thing.
Yeah.
And it's like stuff like this here, like I'll be saying, yeah, when I had Nathan Maher on the podcast, like me and him were already standing in Falvey shed, like fucking playing away.
Yeah,
like,
but you get that with music though.
Yes, agreed.
You always get that with music.
But it's not even just necessarily with music. Like a couple of nights ago, like I recorded with Aaron and Jack from Retro Garage and Kia Racing, and then we ended up at like Jack Mulcahy's house, and we were standing in a shed, all standing around this old BMW E30 that had a Nissan diesel engine thrown onto it, And everybody was just same as the music, but the cars as well. Like it's this common thing where everybody just sort of gravitates to, and everybody just, you have this common thing, and everybody just kind of, I think, comfortably connects with each other.
Yeah, and you're all friends because you're all into the same.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
you see that even if you go to like a car. Oh, jeez, if you go to a car thing.
Yes.
Like if you go off to Mandela, you'll meet people up there that instantly you're friends because you're all into the same kind of
and like
crack,
for you, like someone like yourself, like whenever you came across our media, it's like I'd sort of have, I think you'd added me on Facebook already, and then I'd sort of seen you about, and then like we were following each other and everything, and then it's just like your name Rough and Reliable, and then you're like an AA man, and I was just like, lad,
yeah.
This, and then the next thing Macroom comes out, and I'm just like, fuck, like I need to get this, man. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I do a lot. I do too much.
You do a lot.
World,
we were talking about this, like, and I even said that to you. Do you not feel like you're doing a lot? Because there's so much to get through. Let's start from the start. Well, I'll let you pick. Cars or farming first?
Anything. Fire away. Whatever you want to hear.
Well, cars or farming. We'll start off with the cars then. Yeah. So you have a Mazda MX-5, don't you?
Mazda MX-5, yeah.
And when were you always into cars as a child, or what was
I don't know why I bought that fucking yoke.
Really?
Oh, fuck me, lad. It's sitting there the last 6 months, out in the rain. I have a hard top, and I won't even put it on the car. I have the soft top pulled up, and there's a hole in the soft top. And I have a hard top, and I'm just look at the car and I go, fuck that thing, and I leave it there. And I give good money for that car.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the motivation to look at it, because if I start, I can't stop. So if I go at it, I have to finish it. Like,
yeah.
And I don't want to start because I don't have time.
Yeah.
But cars kind of came from. My mother had a Type R Integra when I was younger.
Right.
My father had a couple of Civics, B18 Civics. They had, I don't know, Citroen Saxos and Citroen Zaras.
That is the golden age.
Yeah, they were all
golden age.
Yeah, yeah. So my father had a couple of cars, came from Japan. He had a Vectra back during like the mad times. Like he had a red Vectra with a black carbon fibre bonnet and shit like that. Like, and it was fast as well. Like, it was actually a good car.
It's probably a V6 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something stupid like. But yeah, I've always been around cars. Like, yeah, my mother had some fantastic cars.
That's class that the mother was into it as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that's
my
unreal.
mother had some. My mother's still into cars.
Deadly.
My mother loves the MX-5. I let my mother, so I had a silver Lexus. If anybody on TikTok watches me, you'll know I had a silver Lexus. That's where the name Rough and Reliable came from. Because I was rough. The car was rough, but it was fierce reliable. But I'm also rough, but I'm fierce reliable. So it kind of mixes between the two.
Yeah.
But the car, my mother drove it. I had a seizure. Bada bing, bada boom. Drop a fucking bomb here. Let's get depressing. No, I was working in a farm and I wouldn't stop, so I had a seizure and I wasn't allowed to drive.
Aye, yeah. How long did they take the license off you for?
3 months.
That's not too bad. Up north, it's normally a year.
Yeah, it was 3 months, but I wanted to drive the car on the racetrack. I literally just bought it. And so I got my mother to insure it and drive it to the racetrack. And then, sure, it's a free-for-all once you get on the track.
Oh, aye.
So just at the entrance, I told my mother, get out and get into the passenger seat. I'll drive it into the track so I don't look like a tulip. So I drove the car straight onto the track with my mother in the car and let fucking rip. Frightened the heart and soul out of the poor woman. She was screaming, and I mean roaring, holding me like, ah! I was like, you'll be alright. And then after that, she loved it, and she wanted to drive the Lexus around for an extra couple of days. She thought it was a very comfortable car, even though it was slammed on its hole and the coilovers were fucked.
But they are a great car. They like genuinely. They are. I have an AS300 in the shed, and like I was driving it as a daily for a while, and then it was
but it wouldn't be petrol in the fucking.
No, it was £40 for 100 mile. It was because it's an automatic still. Like it was a standard car, but like in 2002, electric seats, heated seats, like it was like
that's like the Land Cruiser. Heated seats,
cruise control,
heated mirrors,
fucking everything.
Yeah, and you're like Jesus.
And I'm like, I was like, this is such a good spec. So I was like, their mum was like, why are you driving that? I was like, it's like driving a cloud.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
It was class.
They're a shit car. But they're a shit car because everyone has them.
Yeah, okay. But like that was the same as Sierras. People hated Sierras because
and then they got popular.
Every
There's
time.
A friend of mine actually has an XR4i Sierra.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I think he paid very little for it. And it's worth a hell of a lot of money now.
They all are. Apart from maybe mine, but that's a different story.
That's a fucking fantastic car. Oh yeah. Armrest and just has everything you want in a Sierra.
That's class.
And he just drives it for the crack, like he has a Sierra. He has a Chaser.
Right.
He had an E46 a couple of years ago, and it was an animal. It was 2.5 petrol, E46. He had everything. He's an electrician.
Yes. Well, explains it. Yeah.
So he has every kind of car, and the Sierra is just in a corner, and when he decides, that's it, he gets into the Sierra and off he goes. It's the only man I ever know that got caught dangerous driving twice and got away with it.
He's an electrician. He paid them off. 100% paid them off.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. They got the address of the road wrong. Go on, fucking Steve. Good friend of mine. He's a godfather of my child. He's a lunatic.
Yes.
Yeah, nice chap though. Yeah,
That's class.
Funny man.
So, what was the plans with the MX-5? Was it going to be a drifter? Was it going to be a track car? Like what was, or a nice road daily?
I always wanted an MX-5.
Yes.
Because they're so small, and so when I first started driving, I had a Micra.
Yes.
Let's be fair.
Yes.
Fucking pussy wagon.
Great car.
Great car.
Fantastic
car.
Yes.
You'll never get a car like a Nissan Micra.
No.
If you want to bring your nanny to church, whatever, no, Micra can do it.
They are the weapon. They are the complete fucking rod.
So I like me small cars, and I said, Jesus, if I wanted to upgrade and still have a small car, you'd be pointing towards an MX-5.
Yes.
So I bought an MX-5 in from England off a lad called Jake. I sent him money and never even viewed it. And the car arrived. It was fine. It just had no oil in the engine whatsoever. It had no coolant in it whatsoever. And I put it up in my trailer and brought it home, put oil in it, and it was fine, and I drove it around, and then I realised I couldn't get insured on it, so I parked it in one spot and it's still there.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
So is that just so is cars kind of like a thing now where you're sort of like
kind of stepping away just because of all the restriction. Like if I was 28 I'd love it.
Oh yeah, when you're an old bastard like me, you can
drive what you like. But when you're 23, you're kind of looking at it going, I can't do anything.
Yeah, because like down here, like you couldn't have anything. You couldn't have a Civic Type R. You couldn't have.
Well, I can insure the Mazda in the UK. I have a sister living in the UK.
Then they'll probably fucking do you for that down here too if you tried that.
Yeah, because they do you for everything here.
Yeah.
So I can't. I could if I really wanted to. I'd
but you've other
but
things.
I'd be dodgy. And there's other
rough and reliable.
Yeah, I'm rough, but Jesus, I'm legal, like, you know. Trying to get it somewhere right, like, you know. But yeah, no, I just left it there. I'll come back to it at some point.
Aye. But well then, okay, so we'll move across to the farming. So did you come from a farm, or did you just, because you live in Tip, you're just surrounded by farms and therefore naturally gravitated towards it?
I dropped out of school to be a mechanic.
Okay.
Like
you didn't want to do your actual you didn't want to do like we call it tech, I don't know what you would call it down here, college.
Your green cert, we'd say, your farm college.
No, like we would say if you want to be a mechanic, like you would do your, I think it's the equivalent of apprenticeship.
Yeah.
So did you not want to bother doing that?
I started an apprenticeship with Mitsubishi.
Oh, right.
And your man was a dick, say the least.
Okay.
And I lasted 4 months.
Yes.
And I fucked away over it, but I was a mechanic before that, so I had experience going in there.
Yes.
So I was 14 when I first started working in a garage on my summer holidays for a lad called Davy Cronin, who was still a great friend of mine.
Okay.
And 14, 15, 16, I worked in the garage. So I knew how to do most things. I had 3 years under my belt. I could pull a clutch over a car, pull down a gearbox, you name it. I'd fucking pull an engine apart and put it back together, and it was fine. And then I went on to try and get the apprenticeship, and it just didn't work out. So your man was just a prick, so I fucked away of it. And then I went, what did I do after that? I done auto electrics.
Right. So I was working.
I gave a year in auto electrics, and then I went away then out of that.
Then probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then I went out of that then to farming.
So like so was there anybody in your life ever like farming, or is it just
my father milked cows the odd time?
As like a relief milker kind of same?
No, sorry, my father worked on the farm for 10 years when I was young, but he was also mechanicking. Okay. So he was into his cars, of course, and then he was mechanicking, and then it kind of, I don't know, I ended up following his footsteps, I suppose. Yeah.
So how like when you're getting into like the AA and stuff, so you AA cattle, so talk us through that, because the people who are into the farming will know this, but the people who are into the cars might not. So
AI. It's artificial insemination.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go on.
Best way to describe AI, I'll go get you a long glove and show you. So basically you're sticking your hands up in a cow's hole, right, arsehole. You scoop down and grab, because there's a thin wall between the vagina and the arse. You want to get scientific, right?
I
Get
do,
fucking
yeah,
scientific.
yeah.
So there's a tin wall between the vagina and, we'd say, the rumen or the arse or whatever.
Yeah.
So you put in your hand, you have your rumen to your right hand side, but if you scoop down, you can grab the cervix of the cow.
Yeah.
And then you go with your little gun then in through the vagina.
I love the way you're making eye contact with the camera. That's natural. That's fucking
get
hilarious.
sexy with it. So you put this gun up into the vagina and through the cervix, and you let off a small drop, about a straw that length, of bull semen.
Yes.
Give it a wink for make it sexy. But yeah, so my job basically is to impregnate cows.
I'm just wondering, I make a TikTok and put like really bam, 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 bam.
Real sexy. Yeah. Pop diagrams and shit.
You should like talk about that again. Going, it's the first thing we do. Slow it down.
First
make
thing
it
I do is spit on it. Make a fist. Be gentle. Talk dirty. Oh, stop. Fuck's sake. I love you, my missus. I don't treat you like that at home. Fuck me.
So, so what way does it work? Like, are you, like, how did you come across that? Because, you know, whenever I seen it in your TikTok profile originally, like, I was just like, okay, this man's rough and reliable, and it says, like,
I'm not rough with the cows, though.
no,
Be gentle with them.
We've established that. But it's like, how does one like just be like, you know what, I'm going to AI cattle? Like, when you're working on farms, did you pick an interest to it, like, or?
Yeah, well, you can't really pick an interest to it, though. Let's be fair. You're fucking.
Fair.
It's a dirty job. It's dirty job. Like, it's a bit more technical than milking. So I was milking for I was on my second year of milking cows. And I don't know, it's a little bit more technical than just milking cows. And if you want to go further in kind of the farm services part of, we'd say, the company that I fucking made, you kind of have to go for AI, because it's the only thing that you can make enough money to sustain being self-employed as somebody that does jobs on a farm.
Yes.
So it was, you either go down the route of getting them pregnant or scanning them for pregnancy.
Yes.
Scanning for pregnancy costs €26,500 to get into.
Yes.
AI cost me nothing.
Okay. But how do you learn? Do you have to go to a course, or did you get a grant to go on a course?
4-day course. So, no, sorry, it cost me €500. €500 to do a 4-day course with Dovea Genetics. Get to hinder. But yeah, Dovea Genetics is who I'm contracted to do.
Yes.
But I went and just done the course as a lad that wanted to learn it to do his own cows at home. But of course, I have no cows at home.
Yes.
So when I done the course, I kind of hassled the lad that hires people there to give me a job. And I mean, like, I rang him probably once a week.
That's not hassling. That's just being persistent.
Yeah, I was very persistent enough now.
I wouldn't say that's. I mean, but like, to be fair, did it work out for them? Did they get someone who genuinely was interested in doing that?
Oh yeah. I love the scientific. It's more the scientific side of it. It's not even about like all the cows and the weirdness aside. The scientific side of it is actually great.
So I was going to ask that. Like, I know we can kind of make a joke about what it is and all that there, but at the same time, like I was saying, milking cows was kind of like too repetitive. You strike me as the type of person who's quite intelligent. So for me, you're probably looking at this going, this is a wee bit boring, just putting clusters.
No.
Is there something a bit more technical I can do?
I think with milking cows, a lot of people find it very repetitive because they don't take an interest in the scientific side of milking cows.
That's fair.
There is a lot, like, if you keep track of somatic cell counts,
Conor,
bacteria counts, and all this kind of stuff.
Conor.
Yeah, but it does. It gets very, like, you can make it very.
See, if Conor was sitting here, like, he would just be cutting in front and being like, "Oh, what about this?" And you'd be answering all these questions, and I'd be like, "But
you can make it like milking cows, right? It's a fucking boring job, and nobody wants to do it. But if you can get into the kind of scientific side of it, about learning about mastitis,
yes,
like, and
absolutely, and cell counts,
your somatic cell count is a red blood count. It comes into the milk when a cow has. So if you get yourself into all the scientific side of it,
yes,
it can become more interesting, and that's what I done. So I was milking for about a year like a fucking zombie, just going in every day, clocking in the hours and heading home, and then I kind of went, okay, I need to kind of make this worth it. So it was all the scientific side of it I learned, and then I went into the AI, and scanning's probably going to be down the road, dehorning calves, and so when I went into it big time.
And is that the long term goal? Is to be like a proper farm services, basically, like have your own sort of nearly. You want to be able to do like, yeah, I'll scan. Obviously, that costs a lot of money to get into. There's a guy does it for us, and like, I mean, the man's going 24/7.
It would be a great job if you could. It would be a great business if you could leave it in the background and have somebody else run it.
Yes.
If you could hire on somebody else and pay him enough of a wage to leave the whole business in the background and let it run itself,
Yes.
like Farmer Leaf, we'd say.
Yeah.
Farmer Leaf do.
Uh-huh.
The lad that owns the company just sits up on his pedestal and everybody else does the work. It's a great business if you can leave it like that.
And he takes a little cut out of it and he's happy and everybody else does the work. They get their business.
Fantastic business if you can leave it like that. Long term, it's not a job you will do long term.
Okay. The
By-
guys that do it for us have been at it for years.
Yeah, you will be. You'll give 30 years at it.
Okay. Well, that's pretty long term.
It's a long term enough, but we'd say you're going to want to quit before that. I'm 23. 30 years out for me, I'm 50. I'm fucked.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It is probably, but if you're a mechanic in or whatever, you'd be fucked as well. To be fair,
Fair point. Yeah.
Like, to be fair, even so, like one thing, it's quite interesting. Like, you know, anyone else, you know, when we talk about farming, a lot of the time we're in the podcast, apart from like likes of Andrew Ray and Conor himself, is all geared towards silage and all this here. Do you have any interest in the machinery or?
Fuck no.
No,
Jesus.
Right.
I was offered a job recently, right? And he said, what we have to do here in the morning is we have to lime cubicles. I don't know, you probably have limed cubicles.
Oh yeah.
Horrible job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to lime cubicles for about 250 cows. It takes an hour and a half every morning.
That man should buy himself probably like a Broderick engineering wee yacht.
He has one.
Ah.
It takes an hour and a half still. Yeah, it's hardship.
Aye.
Right. So I can either do that or I can drive machinery. I said I'll stick to the lime and cubicles. I would much rather get covered head to toe in lime and not be able to breathe than drive a tractor.
You have no interest.
Absolutely zero. People, like, because of TikTok and I'm farming, people are always like, oh, do you know what a John Deere, or look at my John Deere 10 fucking, I don't know what you own, lad.
Like, but it's interesting because obviously if you're into the cars and like all that stuff, I kind of was expecting, I was like, yeah, this boy's going to be some pilot. Like, I just assumed you were going to be like,
oh, I can drive, like, yeah, I have driven, I have done silage and stuff. It's just a fucking boring job. You're staring out a window thinking you're like sitting with your own thoughts for hours and
that's
hours.
More
on
slurry.
it.
Slurry can be intense.
I find silage very like that.
I like the silage. Oh, well, on the road you're kind of like, in the field I like being beside the harvester. I think it's
that's fine.
because if you make
great.
a game of it, like whatever, and you're trying
like, oh, let's panic here for 5 minutes, and then you're back onto the road and you're like,
well,
do
in
you know
my case,
what I mean?
it's like been bunched around the place because the 110
rough old fields up there.
Just the 110 has absolutely no suspension whatsoever, so it's just solid, and you're just, and my seat is fucked. So my seat's like a launch pad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's literally like, boom,
oh, you're just baiting off it instead of having any air at all. You're just
there's
pure.
no air. It's
Fuck
fucked.
that.
It's fucked.
No, but I've no interest in machinery whatsoever. None.
That's so interesting because, like, and I guess I never talked to you about that before because, as I said to you when we were like first met, I was like, look, I'll not ask too many questions pre-podcast because then it takes away the surprise. I fully had you down as like, but when I first met you, I had you fully like down as someone who was like, yeah, I fucking love, I jump in the 6910 John Deere, big brawn trailer, fucking love it. And as we've kind of gone on through the night, I was like, he hasn't mentioned tractors once.
Oh, I hate them. I like trailers. I love trailers. I made money last year, so I made a small bit of money, and the little bit of profit I bought trailers. I love trailers, not tractor trailers, no, just car trailers and stuff.
Like
transporters and stuff.
Dude.
I had no use for them, but I just wanted a trailer. Do you know what? You just feel like you're like, I have a trailer.
I justify, so I got a car trailer. Oh,
that's okay. It's only the father. I'll ring him back. He's okay. He's probably asking how my day has been. But yeah, no. I like trailers, but no, tractors aren't my thing.
See, I justified, so like with the farm and all, like I was like, you know, we have like an old Wright trailer that was made in like probably 1980.
Yeah.
And it's
battered.
It's okay. It's okay, but it's probably a wee bit rotten. And you can use it for light work, but you wouldn't use it for heavy work. And obviously, one in the Sierra, and the Sierra just been fucked all the time. having a trailer seemed like a really good idea, and I was justifying it to Mum, being like, what do you need? And I was like, if we have a trailer, it means I can lift like 3 bags of meal instead of like 2. And I was like, the trailer's rated for heavier, and I was like, and if I'm going to lift steel, I was like, Mum, like yourself, like steel now it's coming in like if I want to get 18 foot or 20 foot of steel, I was like, sure, that wee trailer, Mum was pointing to the ceiling, you'd be wiping out bridges. I was like, sure, with the car trailer, it's so much longer. And like I justified it, and I think my mum was just like, because obviously between the pair of us we have like it's not like a mummy boys kind of thing, it's just like between the pair of us, obviously, with like we, to be fair,
back past finances.
Mum was just like, well, she's like, well, would you use it? And I was like, to be fair, yeah. And like, I mean, I've been in lifting steel because I try to make all my own doors and gates and all that. Like, I have a weird obsession with gates. And like,
I could make a joke right now, but we'd get cancelled. We stay going. You like gates.
Genuinely, I have this weird obsession with gates, and it's because I'm on my own a lot. Because
gates are handy for that as well.
Yeah,
you can
close. Like, where my cattle would be, if I'm taking them down the crush, it's like a big open yard. It used to have a silo whenever Dad was living. That's where the silo was, and then the second silo was behind that, which is rented out. So we just had this big, like, wide yard that's not really sort of used, apart from people who park like machinery and stuff on it. So last thing I want is for cattle to break out and run down and then start eating like the boy who rents the silo. So I don't want them to break out and eat his silage. The other thing is, I can't really depend that any of my vehicles will actually start. So, so it's like, use the tractor to block the gate there, to block the gap. Yep.
It will be a half an hour.
So it's like, okay, so, and then like, you're using like, the next thing suddenly you've got the Amarok and a trailer on. It's like, this isn't right, like this is not really what I should be doing. I was like, do you know what? And I have like developed this whole big like swing over gate system and all that covers the whole yard. I've got like 90 foot of gates.
90 foot?
90 foot. A 4-part swing over and a 2-part swing over, and I have another bit to make. That'll make it like 120 foot all on, and it means I can do the whole thing myself. So I don't need to depend on anybody. And because I work away, like, for instance, I'm down here now, I'm away to work. So I could come home from Monaghan or wherever at like 10 o'clock at night and go, fuck, like, you walk up to the shed to feed the animals, and suddenly, then this happened last year. One of the cows, like, they were dehorned, and then the next thing, it's got an itchy head, went and scratched its head against the wall, and you come out, it looks like fucking Vietnam with blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're just like, see, you have to take that down to the crush. Because, have you ever tried, obviously you've tried chasing after an animal in a pen.
Yes, not
to try and like get blue spray on them.
I had that experience yesterday.
Yes. It doesn't really ever go to plan.
No.
No.
Especially when you're dealing with a bigger animal.
Yes.
The bigger the animal, the harder it is, because she will fucking puck you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And mine at the time nearly seen it as a bit of sportsmanship.
Yeah,
so the next thing you'd be standing, they'd just come along one and would just dunt you for the crack, and it was like, why?
And I had a cow do that yesterday.
But they're only playing.
Bales, fucking bastard.
They're only playing.
Oh yeah, but you.
Oh, you're still like,
you're stressed,
fuck off. Like.
Do you know when you're stressed and you're like, I heard a great saying, my animals are extremely well looked after, but occasionally verbally abused. And that is the best saying I've ever heard. Like, I was throwing out bales yesterday, like just in the place I'm in now, there's 2 big round bales, you have to throw them out every morning. So I go out and throw out the bales, and yesterday morning I never fucking hunted the cows out of the shed. I said, Jez, they'll be alright, sure, just throw the bale around. So I throw the bale, turn me back, and the bale is at the far end of the shed, unravelled, and there's straw absolutely everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, for fuck's sake, get out of the shed, you fucking. And then you give them a bit of verbal abuse, and you're friends again.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This yoke is fucking breaking the arse of me falvy. How does this man sit in this yoke?
Pure, unadulterated ADHD.
Yeah. Fair play.
I mean, the man is literally.
He's some man, though. He is some man.
I can't believe we're in his shed.
Yeah.
Like, you said to me, he's like,
what time is it?
Fuck no, it's probably 8 o'clock.
Is it 8 o'clock?
It's 8:30.
It's 8:30.
Fuck. We have a lot to get through.
What are we fucking doing? Jesus Christ.
And it's so like, it's just so back to what we're saying. You're not like, for me, it's just I want to be able to do everything on my own. So we were talking about so we're talking about machinery. And I'm just so surprised that you're not into it.
Talking about ADHD.
Yeah.
We started with tractors, we ended with gates.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, machinery wouldn't be for me at all. I like cars. I like the look of cars. And
Yes.
don't get me wrong, I like the look of tractors. Like I can look at a tractor and go, "Jeez, it's a nice tractor." But
You would have no like interest in like, you know, buying a tractor and thinking, oh fuck, I could fix this up or anything like that.
not a hope.
That's so interesting.
No way in hell.
Because you were a mechanic as
Yeah.
well. That's the bit that. It's just. I find like you get people. I think when it comes to farming, you get the odd people that are kind of in the middle. But I think you're either a machinery man at heart. Like I love cattle, and especially after keeping cattle through the winter, I really started to learn like to love looking after cattle. I really enjoyed it because you get a real good sense of accomplishment. But at heart, I'm a machinery man. Conor loves machinery, but at heart, he's a cattle man. Like Conor, they have a Dairy Master parlour, and like they put in like a full. They were with hardship for years. Like fuck me. Like Conor's old setup was like, kill me for saying this. Conor's old setup was like fucking Beirut. Like it was like a 7-a-side swing over that, like putting like 115 cows through or whatever.
Fuck
and
that.
he was like at it a lifetime, and it was like just. And I was saying to Conor, would you not like want to go? And he's like, yeah, look, it's going to happen. He was saying it for about 10 years, and then he goes, we're putting in a Dairy Master. And like, I mean, to be fair, they went full state of the art. And Conor, because he's such a nerd, like, and he'll admit that, that's not an insult. Conor is like sitting going, and my cell count's this, and my thing's this. And like, whenever we had Andrew Wright in the podcast on Farm Theory, Conor and him literally sat and talked, and I was literally like,
I find Andrew very interesting.
see, I
Very
think Andrew's
interesting.
interesting, but I don't watch him, whereas Conor is like, really.
Oh yeah, I watch every video Andrew makes.
Not
Yeah,
like
I
I
think he's
say, like
unbelievable.
Andrew Wright's a great guy, and I really like the bloke. He's a really nice person as well. Like genuine, real good lad. But like, I follow him. I'll watch his videos, but I wouldn't like. And I'm not trying to say this in a way of offend. It's just, it's so technical with cattle. It's just I'm lost.
You're not in it. Yeah.
Whereas Conor is like, did you hear him talking about this? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Did you hear him talking about this? I'm like, oh well, I seen that video. Like Conor loves the numbers, and I'm assuming you do too.
Yeah. Pure maths, yeah.
The wrong man's interviewing you here.
Fuck it. At least we're having fun.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, like I'd be very into the technical side of everything.
What would you give any like? What sort of advice would you give to like say someone else who's listening that maybe is like milking, say for a farmer, like a particular listener who David Hearn, like he milks for another fellow we're friendly with, Andrew Muldrew. If say we David decided he wanted to get into genetics, like what would you recommend? Like what would you do?
It only literally takes one email.
Maybe in the south.
Dove Genetics operates up north, and I'd put me money on it.
Right.
Just a genetics company, any genetics company, send them an email, say I am looking to be a technician,
Yes.
an AI technician, this is where I'm living, this is the area I can cover, just wondering if you have any availability, I'd happily take you up on the offer. And then just say I have to do a course, go and do the course,
Yes.
and then go do another course,
Okay.
do 2 courses,
Right.
and just get really comfortable with cows, like, and what, because you have to think about it. Everything you do with farming, you can see in front of you, right in front of you, you're doing it.
Yeah.
AI is probably one of the only jobs that you're sticking in your hand and you haven't a fucking clue where you are.
It's all based
It's
on
all
field.
field.
That's experience.
Yeah.
That comes with
So
experience.
you just need experience. So you go do 2 courses and just chance your arm. Like I hadn't a fucking clue what I was doing.
But you clearly, obviously, as we've said, you already had the interest in animals. And
Yeah.
you had the, I suppose, intimate's the wrong word because it's back to the whack, whack.
It's back
But
to sexy shit.
but like, you give, like, it's more, you just give a shit about figuring out, like, what are we going to do next year? As
Yeah,
I
well,
say,
it's more
it wasn't
like-
just putting clusters and cattle in the end. It was like, well, how what's the reason behind this? What's the meaning behind that?
Yeah.
You have that. So you had the spur to kind of go on, is what I'm sort of saying.
Yeah, well, it's kind of more of like, instead of just going, okay, I'm just going to milk cows for the rest of my life, which nobody is going to ever say, unless you're a dairy farmer, but you can't wait till the day you give it up.
No, every dairy farmer's quitting when they're 60.
90% of farmers cannot wait to give it up.
But they won't. But they
But
can't.
they won't. They can't.
They
So
can't,
there's no
and
one
they
there.
don't. But they all say, "Yep, retiring when I'm 60." My
Yeah.
dad's best friend was saying he was going to retire when he's 60. He's now 73, and he's still milking.
Yeah.
So,
But that's the way it goes. Like, you get into milking cows and you're like, okay, I'm going to stay doing this, but you're not. Like, and you know you're not. So where do you go from there? How do you make it like? I get this a lot. Like people stuck in a shitty situation. It's like, don't be stuck in a shitty situation. Think of how you're going to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Might take you a long time to get out of it, but think how you're going to do it and just work on it today. So that's kind of the attitude I took to it. It was like, okay, I'm sick of milking cows. I hate this. How am I going to make myself like this? And then I got into it a bit more, and I'm starting to really love.
But what could you imagine yourself doing past this? You know, you're saying you don't want to be doing that, like, 30 years down the line. You know, what could you see yourself going like? Or maybe you're like me, you don't really have a clue what you're doing most days. But
I don't know. I enjoy music.
Yes,
but I don't think I'm going to ever get to the point where music is going to be my be all and end all. Plus, I wouldn't like it to be, because it becomes work then.
Correct.
So I don't know, but I know I'm going to be farming for a long time.
Well, the question I have is, how does a mechanic turned bovine sort of and technician end up writing a song that ends up getting on the radio and makes you actually kind of sort of a bit famous?
I don't know.
Like, how does that happen? So, for anyone who doesn't know, if you're living under a rock, Nathan released a song called Macroom.
Yeah, Macroom.
Which is, would you care to explain what it's about?
No, we'll skip past that. It's about a lad that goes on a night out and
Gets robbed.
meets a woman, has a good night, went home with her, woke up with no wallet, and the pen is whole.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, it's not a true story. Don't fucking... It's not. The song originally was... so if you heard the song, it's... Oh, he kissed underneath the moon. The song originally was wrote... Oh, I met with a girl from Tuam.
Oh, okay.
That's originally what the song was.
Okay.
But then it became Macroom. I don't know how. Because Galway has enough fucking songs, don't they?
There's a lot of songs about
Yeah,
Galway.
yeah.
Like Macroom, because I think that's part of the whole... And it kind of comes back to the whole culty thing. You
when
know,
I got posted into the Macroom Facebook group, it was class. Yeah, it was right job. They loved it.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them were
Oh, I
like, this
thought
is
it
the
was gonna
best
be a
song
lot
we've
of,
ever
like-
heard about Macroom. There's only like one song about Macroom in Cork, and they're like, this is class.
I
was like,
thought it was going
right
to be a
job.
whole load of West Corkians go, I heard that song. Oh, that's
No, it was class. Yeah,
you
I
know,
liked
like
it, yeah.
going off about how much of a disgrace it is. I thought that's what it would be.
So did I. I was like, and I get weird messages like, so I have a missus,
Yeah.
like happily with a missus for the last 6 years. Love the girl to bits.
Yes.
But some girl text me. I think I blocked her after. But she's like, do you want to meet a proper girl from Macroom? I was like, why? Why? Like after that song, okay, a lad that goes on a night out gets pegged and robbed in Cork. Why would you text that man and say, do you want to meet a girl from Macroom? Fuck no. Fuck no. Why would I want that? What the fuck? The last thing I want is to get fucking pegged after a night out.
Yes, I want to have that experience.
Finish with a dirty kebab, bang, pegged. Fuck no.
Wake up while it's real severe pain in your backside. Like,
Yeah, no.
wow.
Yeah, so you get weird messages too. Like, this is the thing about TikTok. I love TikTok because it's just, you get all walks of life on it. And it's great for the music and it's great for the farming, and I can kind of give an insight into farming for young people, especially
Yes.
like 16-year-olds that haven't a clue what they want to do. But you get the odd few people that you just like, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
So like that was one of the messages I got that I opened and I went, I
Not
don't
today.
know. I don't know about you. And good luck. And I just went away from it. But like, yeah, Macroom was a weird fucking experience. It was an experience. That's exactly what it was.
But like, so, like, this is kind of straying away from the normal topic, or not the normal topic, the normal trends of the podcast. But because you are farmer, car guy, like, you know, and we're in this, and then I'm also heavily in the music. And as I said earlier,
Jesus.
people don't know this about me. Like, I've been playing music since I was 4.
Fuck.
And
Longer than
I'm 31. So I started on the tin whistle when I was 4.
Jesus
So
Christ.
like tin whistle, moved to then the fiddle, played classical violin, played in orchestra until I was 18. Have all my grades in violin, and then but like just always loved Irish trad. But Ma was like, you're not going to Irish trad lessons for the fiddle because you play classical, and it's basically the same thing. Spoiler alert, they're not. And then yeah, just ended up like playing the accordion, flute, banjo, whatever. I have
Why
a
are
bouzouki
you-
line at home as well.
Why are you interviewing me, lad? I learned the guitar off of YouTube.
I guess I just never thought I was good enough. Like, me playing there, like, when I was playing the accordion for you earlier, like, you know, I was hitting bum notes. Like, you're sitting there going, lad, that's great. And I'm sitting going, I'm a fucking failure.
Yeah, lad, I write songs, okay?
No, you're really good at writing
No,
songs.
but I don't think so. But I write songs, okay? And you don't understand how many bad songs I have to write to get one good one.
100. No, that makes absolute sense. Do you know how many bad podcasts I've had to do to get a good one?
Yeah, but and then
haven't got it yet.
But then if you hit a bum note, like while it's the same thing. It's like you just that extra little bit of practice, you won't hit a bum note on it anymore. It works the same with everything in this stupid little world we're in. If you practice anything enough, you can be great at it.
I do agree with that. Although I do think you have to have, like, I don't know, if you don't have an interest in cars, like, you'll probably never make a phenomenal mechanic. That might be a lie, but if you don't have that deep-rooted interest, the same way as if you were told to just learn the piano, and you sat. If you didn't really care about learning the piano, you're never really going to be great at it.
But then I think it falls that if you want to be something, you can be it. It falls back to that saying again.
I do think anybody can do anything without physical restrictions and all that. That's not something we need to get into because it's not really a thing to discuss. But it's So for you, but you're learning a guitar and you're saying, I learned off YouTube. But then so fucking what? The lyrics So what we're going to probably do in a bit here, maybe shortly, is you wrote a song about. Well, we kind of rejigged it just before we came on the pod.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
yeah, we kind of
It was about a BMW. We made it about a Lexus. So we leave it there.
And I was chatting to you, and I was like, have you any songs about cars or anything for the podcast? And you were like, no. And then you just were like, no, actually. And started playing this and started singing this song, and I was like, lad, that's a full-on song. And you were like, yeah, I forgot I knew that one. And I'm just sitting there being like,
yeah, but
how do you forget that you have written that?
When did I write that song? Jesus. I wrote that, I'd say 2-3 years ago.
And it's only because I said I once tried to write a song called My Little Twin Cam, and you were like, I done this. And the next thing you started singing about a BMW M3, and I was like,
that'd be way that rough as about a Lexus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But yeah, no, I've over 1,000 songs written.
That's mental.
Definitely over 1,000. I have books and books and books, and every single notes on every phone I've ever owned is full. I've been writing songs. I'm a writer. I wouldn't call myself a musician. I am more of a writer than I am a musician.
But, and not to try and take away from anything, some of the greatest songs ever, some of the most iconic songs, are played in 4 chords.
I know, yeah.
So, you're going I'm not a musician. If you can hit them 4 chords and hit them well, a lot of people look at you and go, that's not technical enough for that, sir. Maybe that's just because I can't have a bit of a negative skew because I don't have the confidence. But, reality is, the greatest songs are all GDCE.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, right, going back to you saying, the confidence thing, you don't understand how many people can't play instruments.
Yeah.
And, you playing the littlest bit makes people go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I only realised this recently, from going, I never played gigs, I never played in public, ever. Until actually a lad I was milking cows for, he plays the Boweron and his family are all musicians, and he said, we're playing in the pub on Paddy's Day, will you come? I was like, fuck yeah. So I went up just to watch them. And he said, go home and get your guitar, what the fuck are you doing here? So I went up with the guitar and we're singing songs and we're having the crack. And they said to me, the only thing that you're missing is a microphone. And I went, I don't think so. Now I was sloshed. I was because confidence, drink gives you confidence. So I got absolutely sloshed, and I was supposed to be milking the cows the next morning, and it was me and the farmer looking at each other going, who's on? Turns out he was on, because I wasn't out of bed. I was fucked. I was absolutely in a ball now. I don't know, I was absolutely in bits. I don't know that my mother dropped me home or who dropped me home, but somebody.
Did you end up in Macroom? Did you end up in Macroom?
Do you know what? Fucking imagine that. I didn't even have Macroom wrote at that stage. That's last St. Patrick's Day. That's a year ago. So Macroom was only written. It came out in November. It was written probably May. Mm-hmm. And then it just went from. No, it was actually after the summer it was written. It was during the winter it was written, because I have a video time-stamped on my phone.
Okay.
So the song was literally just written, recorded, put up. No effort. I recorded the song, got the recording back, and I was like, I hate it.
I feel like I'd be like that.
I hate that song. I don't want to release this. And herself paid for me to go and record the song as a birthday present. Yeah. September is when I recorded it. It was out in November because my birthday's in September. So she recorded it for a birthday present for me, and I didn't want to release the song because I thought it was shit.
It's not.
I still to this day I cannot listen to the song. I thought the song was useless.
No, it's a vibe. Genuinely, like when I was listening to it, obviously like, kind of like coming on the way here and all, like, and I'd heard it when you'd first released it, and then just when I was coming here, I was like, right, need to get back on to my research, and I was listening. Obviously, being musical, starting to dissect it a wee bit, but like the first thing I noticed was it's a proper like foot stomper, and I was just like, that's class. The weirdest bit I said about the whole thing is how you talk and how you sing don't sound the same, but that's the same as everybody, because I sound really funny.
I don't think I'm too far off though. The accent really does come through, like you get the agricultural accent in it.
See, I don't have my accent when I sing. Weirdly, like like if I was singing like a Christy Moore song or something, like, not that I can do that, but if I was, I'd end up trying to put on a Christy Moore accent, which is stupid, but I can't do it in my own accent.
And then that just falls down to, it's like every instrument. So if you have a guitar,
yes,
you practice until you get good, and you find your tone of playing on the guitar. It's the same with the fiddle. Everybody plays it different, like, to an extent.
Yeah.
And then it falls down to with singing is just you have to find your voice, and it's a practice and practice and practice on your voice that gets it. It was Macroom that really done it for me.
Yes.
I could not sing until I wrote Macroom. When I wrote Macroom, it was just one of them songs that was just there, and now I can sing.
Well, to be honest
like.
with you, and I want to get, and this is for me even doing this. Like, this is like so strange for me, even the pod, because I'm so appreciative. I do want to get, and I feel like I'm nearly presenting like a radio show, going like, and now we're going to hear. I really want you to play the Lexus song, because it hits our listeners square in the nose. Like, that's the type of thing I can nearly imagine put to a Donegal rally video.
Yeah, and that was the plan.
I'm going to do that.
The plan was to record this song and have it out for the Donegal rally.
100%. Well, why not, out of curiosity? Like, as someone who doesn't get music recorded, what's the logistical issues? We're so far off farming and cars here. Well, we're talking about Donegal rally, so
yeah. Well, there's no logistical issues.
So why not?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like,
I have no great ambitions to be a musician, but at the same time, I have every ambition in the whole world, and I love it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It falls back to kind of like, right, I record this song and I put it out, and what? If I get gigs, I'm away from my family.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to be, because I love my family to bits.
Yes.
So of course I want to be home with my family. If I get gigs, a lot of the time you're going to get kind of fucked over by people. I've learned that already.
Yeah,
that you're going to have a lot of people try and fuck you around.
You get a lot of that even with the podcast. I find is a lot of people try to pay you exposure, and at the start you're like, like you'll show up somewhere because you're like, I want to be here. I'm not slammed. Like, I've been asked to a lot of events. I'm not. It's different for music because it's a lot more cutthroat. With a podcast, like, me going to all these events to show my face is costing me money. I'm not making anything out of it.
Yeah.
And it's the same, but a lot of people in the music world would go, you'll play to such and such crowd and you'll get so much exposure from this.
Yeah,
and basically,
and you get no exposure. Let's be fair. It never works that way.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a band. So there's Nicky Brewery, who was in a band called the Mangle Badgers, which I think is unbelievable. So Nicky plays a double bass, which is stand up. You play it like a fiddle or you can strum it. And then I have Roseanne and Stephen Phelan, who are brother and sister.
Yes.
And Roseanne plays like the uilleann pipes, the tin whistle, you name it, Roseanne will pick up and play. And
anything wind.
Yeah, anything. She can just pick it up and go, and that's it. And then Stephen plays the banjo and guitar, and Stephen is a fantastic banjo player, and he's a fantastic singer as well, if you can only get the fucker to sing.
Yeah, so it comes back to the confidence thing again.
Lad, he's unreal. I mean, no, he's unbelievable. So we do a trad session in my local pub, Ryan's in Ballingarry. So we all go up to Ballingarry and we play a few tunes. And Stephen and Roseanne go up, and Stephen sang a song last night, the night visiting song, I must away now. Stephen sang that with me, and oh my fucking god, lad.
Hairs in the back of your neck, sort of standing kind of thing.
Just some voice. Because I'd have a very, I don't know, I sing that very high.
You have, like, you don't sound squeaky, but you have a high, because like I was saying earlier, me and you, when we both sing Macroom, you sound good, I sound like high pitched.
And then it's just finding your voice though. Again.
But then whenever I do it lower, I said I found it strange, and you were like, no, that's
unbelievable.
You should do that.
Yeah,
and I was like, no.
It's like the octave. Yeah. So like I'd sing the night visiting song up here, and Stephen would sing it down here, lad, and fuck me, like, oh Jesus Christ, put hairs on the back of your neck, like, just a fantastic singer, and he has such a voice Do you know Pierce Larkin? Did you ever hear Pierce Larkin? Or Pierce O'Larkin, they call him.
No, can't say I have.
He's a fantastic musician. He's your man that sang, Nancy. Tipping it up to Nancy.
Ah, yeah,
the ginger lad.
Yeah.
He'd have a voice very like Pierce.
Okay, right.
Where it's like just so clear and so pristine and just sings, but I just can't get the fucker to sing. And he's unreal.
Have you tried suggesting vodka and Red Bull?
He doesn't drink.
Have you tried suggesting cocaine?
That wouldn't work either. But no, he's unbelievable at just to get him going.
But see, the second that he
And
does,
it falls back to the same with yourself. Like
Yeah.
it's like just fucking do it.
I don't know. I've toyed, like literally toyed, like even whenever I was younger, I talked about doing a YouTube channel. I guess I've always thought in one way or another about doing YouTube. And one of the things I was actually going to do, because no one had done it at the time, and because as you've seen, like I can kind of like pick up things quite quickly. I was going to do a thing called Tradify This, where I would basically take like a tune, like a
Oh, lad, you should still do that. I know exactly what you're on about. Like,
fuck, I've no time now. But like, and I was going to do guitar, like the banjo, or that had a bouzouki at the time actually, and the fiddle and the accordion, and I was going to like say like Avicii levels, because that was the time when I was thinking, like, we're talking like 12-15 years ago, like when YouTube was still like had nothing on it.
Lad, you should still
like
do
I
that.
was still thinking about that, but I was like, I'd love to do this, and like taking songs and just like
You would be huge now
yeah,
if you
but
done
modern
that.
day music just isn't worth it. I don't know. There's just really nothing.
Since Lewis Capaldi.
Ah,
Well, no. Now, if you're looking for good music, American country at the minute
Of
is
course- oh, yeah,
on
okay, yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Cameron Whitcomb. If you've heard Cameron Whitcomb,
I have, yeah.
he's unbelievable. Sam Barber, like there's so
Yeah.
many songs.
To be
and I know
fair-
they are country, but you can make them trad.
And that was always the idea. I was thinking like, oh, I could make this like, so make it into a trad style. So like, for instance, Avicii levels is a very easy one, because you just start adding triplets. So like instead of you go you do that to it,
And add your bit of guitar or whatever in them with it. Yeah,
and then you'd use maybe like either a fiddle or a flute as like a lead, and like that was something like I had thought about for years, and then just never really had the confidence, because fun fact, whenever I was like 16, I went to go to like the school trad group, and I was like, oh, can I play in the trad group? And they were like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you, and then they never like got back to me.
Yeah, well,
and,
I
like,
was the
stuff
same,
like that there, I always kind of thought, you need to pull the microphone a bit closer, by the way, or lean into it or something.
Yeah, but it was like that for me as well. So in school, I wanted to do music lessons, and I was told no, because I was too much of a messer. And I never done music in school. That kind of hit me, because I was like, maybe I'm just not good enough. But then at the time, I was writing music, but I was never playing guitar or any instruments or anything. And it kind of falls back to, the best way to explain it with me is what goes through my head is when I'm kind of posting a TikTok or any of this, is everybody is going to fucking talk about you whether you like it or not.
That's correct.
Everybody's
but I find that hard.
Everybody's going to have an opinion on you. I have an opinion on you right now. You have an opinion on me. Falvey fucking has an opinion on the two of us. And everybody that's going to watch this is going to have an opinion about the two of us.
That's true, yeah.
Some of them bad, some of them good. Some of them bad for no reason, some of them bad for a reason, some of them good for no reason, some of them good for no reason.
How the fuck did you rhyme that up without stopping?
I don't know. Music boy. Oh, yeah, good thing. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to have this mad thing in their head that you're either a prick or you're the nicest lad in the whole world.
Yeah.
Or they don't know you. And I'd much rather take the chance and put out music and let them call me a fucking idiot for a year.
Yeah.
Or for 2 years. Or for whatever.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen with you, because you're actually fucking unbelievable at music. But
Stop it, you.
no, but honest to God, like when I started writing songs, I hadn't a fucking clue. I was rapping, like, come on. I was putting raps up on fucking YouTube.
What was your rapping name?
MC Cashin.
That's class.
Yeah.
Because your surname, your Maher Cashin.
Yeah.
Maher Cashin.
Yeah.
So it actually kind of works. You don't just sound like a tryhard, because it's actually...
It actually is my name, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's class.
and then, yeah, so I used to write raps and stuff when I was very young, like I was about 13, 14. Do you know, and I put them out there, and at the time would have been a very... I wouldn't have been a confident child, like, I wouldn't have
I'm surprised to hear that, because you were saying like you were a bit of a messer. I'd have thought maybe you would have been quite...
I was a messer
out
because
there.
I was awkward.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of an anxiety thing where I was anxious.
Ah.
So the best way for me to break the silence and break the tension is trying to make somebody laugh. So that's where it comes from. That's where it stems from. It's like, okay, I'm going to make people laugh here and we're going to have a bit of fun.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I was an annoying little prick. And I annoyed so many fucking people trying to make them laugh because I was awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
I'm fine now, like, do you know?
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, at the time, I was nervous, like,
You
kind of
probably
all the
just,
time.
same as me, you kind of had to find that edge where you were kind of annoying people to realise what you can't really say anymore. And then start working your way back till the stage where you're like, do you know
I still
what?
annoy people, I love it.
But then again, some people have very low, like, you know, I sit and do this. There are people that I'm chatting to. When I was younger, I probably wouldn't have had the recognition that maybe I do now. Like when I was younger, I'd have just talked away at someone and went, "Why do you ignore me?" Like now, I would be talking to someone, I'd just be like, "This person just does not like my personality."
Yeah,
and for a long time, I'd have been like, "Oh, what can I do to change that?" And then it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's 2-stroke or 4-stroke.
It's actually 4-stroke.
Let's see.
Or is she 2-stroke? No, she's 4-stroke, it's it.
No.
She's 2-stroke.
Well, there's a sweet smell off it.
Does it smell like my chainsaw?
No, it's 4-stroke.
No, it's definitely 4-stroke, yeah. Sorry. Where were we?
So, ADHD.
That needs to go on there. That has to be clipped for TikTok. Just as Joe was talking, going, "Oh, is that 4-stroke?" Fuck's sake. But yeah, no, like, it's confidence is a funny thing because once you break, I think the best way to get confidence is take the first step.
I think so too. And like, even with the podcast and stuff, it was always like, Conor Kane just got dragged by the ear. It was like, come on, you, you'll do. It wasn't like that. Conor, obviously being my best friend, has always been incredibly supportive, and he's a good talker. And he's kind of like the yin to my yang because I'm an absolute gobshite. Conor's quite sensible. He's good crack, but he's quite sensible. And I need someone like Conor the majority of the time. Like what I have learned from talking with you and even talking with Jack and Aaron there a couple of nights ago is that I am so bad with direction. Whereas Conor would be sitting here and we'd be chatting and Conor would go, "So anyway, you were talking about this." It's like, we were talking about that 15 minutes ago. And it's like that whole thing of just going like whenever I said I was originally going to do a podcast, the amount of actual positive support I got was unreal. Like people were like, "This class, can't wait to hear it." And I was like, really?
It's like that with everything nowadays. It's weird.
I think though, and I always say this, and maybe I should stop saying this because maybe it makes me look bad, but I always say people in Ireland love to see you do well until you do a wee bit too well.
Yeah.
And then like once you do,
they think I'm a millionaire since I released Macroom. Like, I had a plumber up in my house. I swear to God. Sorry, no, for interrupting it. I just
work away.
I had a plumber up in my house to service a kerosene boiler, right?
Yes.
And he was just servicing the way. Gary is his name. I actually know him fairly well. Like, I would have grown up around him, like. And he goes, "Well, how are you getting on?" And I say, "You're fucking loaded now, are you?" It's like, loaded, lad. I haven't even got anything.
Yeah.
I haven't got any money at all. I'm broke,
you probably have to reach like a certain number of streams before you even get paid. It's like up YouTube.
Yeah.
You have to make. First of all, you have to meet all the criteria. Then once you meet that, you have to then earn a certain period of money in a month or in a time period. And if you don't reach that threshold, then you don't get paid.
Yeah.
So they can hold money off you for fucking ages.
Oh yeah, Spotify is like that. Well, no, Spotify is actually grand because they pay you from the get-go, but you only get 0.003 cent per stream.
Oh, I'm never making any money ever.
Yeah, 0.003 cent per stream, and then on top of that, you have you can't withdraw anything under 25 to 50 quid. All depending on your distributor, but it's 25 to 50 quid. So you think of how many 0.003s make €50.
Considerable.
It costs €350 to record a song. Your diesel, your out of a day's work, and food.
Yeah,
It probably costs you to go to 500 quid. We'll say.
Yeah, say all on 500.
Yeah,
and that's one song, and you're looking to do an EP.
I'm doing 6 songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. At 0.0003 cent.
Fuck it, I love it.
Million streams.
It's
to get your money back, you need a million streams.
Yeah.
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 But it's more like, so I don't do anything. I don't do anything for money. I don't do anything for recognition or fame or fucking any of this shit. I actually couldn't give a bollocks about any of that.
You just sound like a young Falvey.
I love memories.
Yeah.
I mean it now. Because I was up with Nikki the other day. So Nikki Nikki gives me guitar lessons nowadays, so Nikki teaches me a little bit here and there. But we were up going through a song that I am going to record, so me and Nikki kind of got it together and what way we're going to structure it, and he played the bass to it and stuff, just to give it that little bit of life behind it, just to bring the song along. And Nikki was saying to me, I was like, he was there about the band, like, and if we do a gig, what way are we going to split the money? It's like, we all split it together, like. He was like, no, but sure, it's your PA system, it's you that's writing the song, and it's you that's putting this out there. He said, so I was like, Nikki, I am literally only doing this for the memories. I was like, I can sit here and this is a memory to me that we're all, two of us are here together, recording a song, we're having good crack, and we're laughing, we're joking, we're smoking fucking Benson Hedges here to bed the band, and we're having fun. That's what music to me is about. And that's what all of this is about. The TikTok to everything, it's about making that memories. So all this money and all this bollocks, you can get caught up in it, don't get me wrong.
I think you can, and then you can go chasing, like, you see a lot of people, like, the way YouTube and the algorithm works and all is actually, like, if you don't post weekly, YouTube will actually fuck you over.
And TikTok does the same.
So, but then weirdly with TikTok, I could post and start posting somewhat regularly, and I can literally watch my views go down and down and down, and I'm not posting anything for 3 weeks. I post something which isn't even that great, bang, and it gets serious amount of comments, or maybe I just have a very bad judge on what I think's good. That might also be possible, but like, I'm sitting here going, I've done this, like, I'll release this, and like, then suddenly it's like 110,000 views, and you're like, where
it's mad, but I find out with TikTok, like, I get probably 1.2 million views a month on TikTok.
Oh fuck, I don't get anywhere near that.
Fucking nuts, like, it's nuts.
That is a lot, like.
It is a lot, and even like Macroom has 7.5 or 8 million views, like, on TikTok through across 1,000 and something videos that people made.
That's mental.
And it's like, they're numbers. It doesn't matter, like, once you're happy posting videos, you're having a crack with it, and you're making memories, like yourself and Conor, you've probably met unbelievable people, had great times. Like,
the podcast opened so many doors that at the start when we talked about
even now, look, we're in Falvey Shed. At 10 o'clock at night. I'm sitting on a mini motorbike, you're sitting on a beer keg.
We have an upside down poster as a table.
An upside down Falvey poster as a table. Like, it's the memories, it's the crack you're having, and like, you look in 10 years time, you're going to look back and go, Jesus, remember that time, Michael, that was hilarious.
And I have to say, I am very guilty of kind of never being grateful for what I have, to be quite honest. It's one of my biggest flaws. Like, whenever I set out, like, I was like to Conor, can you imagine if we got chatting to Scotty Ferno, or like Gareth Galt from Grassmen, or John McLean from Farmflex, or any of those people, you know, can you imagine if we could chat to those, or Donkey, imagine if we had Donkey 262 in the podcast.
He's a gas bastard,
and that all happened. And like, at the 2022, when we started talking about it, tail end 2022, and we started talking about this, like, all that seemed so out of reach. And then you go through that, and I'm sitting going, and now I'm sitting thinking, right, we've got that, but now where do I go? Maybe it's just because there's maybe a bit of, like, I don't want to say ungratefulness, but I'm always just trying to push.
I think it's more of, and this is what it felt like for me with Macroom, it's more, if I slow down to enjoy the moment that I've had, I have to slow down. So it's kind of a matter of, I'm going to stay looking forward instead of looking back. But then you kind of have to take that moment to go, fuck, that was cool.
Occasionally what will happen with me is I'll just crash, and I'll go, right, back step, not doing this, not doing that. And then you sort of go back, and then you find yourself kind of thinking, well, this is why I like doing this, and it's not for money or fame or anything like that.
I put up a video 3 days ago where in the midst of an absolute fucking meltdown.
Been there.
Wrong time to post the video of you talking. Wasn't a fucking good video. It got a lot of views and stuff, but I shouldn't have fucking talked about the stuff I was talking about. So I kind of went into the matter of, like, I don't think I'm going to post on TikTok as much because it's taken a lot of my time.
I done the same.
Time is money.
Well, it wasn't time is money for me. It was like, I just feel like I can't keep up with the demand. It's taking up so much time, and I feel like the return on investment isn't what
fucking 100%. So it was a matter of I'm going to start focusing on the things that are making me money, and people took it like the complete wrong way, as in like, you're only doing this for money. It was like, I'm not doing this for money, but I have a young family to support. I have to support my family, and money is more important.
The only other thing I would say as well is like, likes of this podcast and you playing your music and stuff like that, is people don't see the errors.
Oh man,
people just assume. I don't think so much now, because people have, like, our listeners are really loyal, to be fair, and like they hear me now talking and they're like, to be fair, like they all know what I do.
Lad, you're in Tipperary in Falvey shit.
Yes, but it's
hours away from home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and people will watch this on TikTok or Spotify or whatever platform they watch it on, and will think, oh, it's just a podcast. But like the hours and it hurts your head is the best way to explain it, and not in a good way. Like, there's so much in the background of, especially a podcast, because you have editing and everything to do.
And then, but I kind of like life hacked editing. What I did with that was basically, as soon as I finish the podcast, I'll convert it straight to MP3, upload it to like a Google Drive. So I have like all the files for like basic uncut audio and then completed audio. And then when I'm driving, because if I'm sitting at the computer like trying to listen to it, it's quite difficult, because the missus is coming about, and maybe she's watching TV, or she wants to have a conversation, because she is my fiance and I am obliged to talk to her now and again. So
sometimes I tell her she looks nice.
And it's like occasionally I have to go, what? And
John Dinner.
So what I found out for me, one of the things I did was I started listening, and then just took timestamps and was like, okay, from like 47 minutes 13 seconds to 58:25
has to be cut, or
like that was where Conor went out for a piss, and then we ended up chatting shit about something completely irrelevant, and there's 11 minutes that we can cut out. Whereas if I was watching that while trying to edit, like the second ever podcast I ever it's fallen a bit, the second ever podcast I ever edited took me 19 hours.
Fuck that.
Now I have it down that, like, I can do it all within 5 or 6. But like, there's
a lot of work, like even writing a song, like, so like I could write a song in 20 minutes,
but
every day of the week I could write every song in 20 minutes, no bothers at all, but it won't be a good song. So I'll write a song in 20 minutes and I'll give 4 days reviewing it, 4 days going back, changing words, going, Jesus, no, that doesn't sound right. And then you give another bit of time trying to think, Jesus, could I change the chords there and write it? So you give hours upon hours upon hours on songs.
And even some as simple as, do I come down with the notes or do I go up? Do I finish on a higher or do I finish on a lower? And you could spend time repeating that back, going, like... And
we actually had this problem the other day when I was up with Nicky. We were learning a new song, a song called The Buzz. I showed you there earlier. But there's one part of it that it goes up to, what way does it go? But it goes high anyway. And we wanted to go low into the high to give a bit of suspense going into the high. For the life of me, I couldn't fucking do it. Jesus, lad, I tried so many times. I couldn't do it. And then I got it, and then I couldn't do it again. So we're still stumped on that part of the song. And that's going to take another day of
Run
reviewing.
It by me after we finish this. Run it by me.
It's probably a bit heavy for the podcast now.
I was going to say run it by me, because if I might be able to chime into that.
There's one part of it just
I might be able
to. It.
Maybe. Don't know. Can we hear your song about the Lexus?
Yeah, you can. Fire me over the guitar. What way do we do this now with the old microphones?
Like, genuinely, I'm sitting here being like, this feels like a radio exclusive or one of them things. How are we going to work the mic? Because you're a bit far away. And this is going to make you look really uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Right?
I'm always comfortable.
Good enough.
So what introduce it. 'Tis a song I wrote after I went to a fucking car meet, and Private Road was having a bit of fun. I wasn't in an M3. I'm broke. I have nothing. So only a trailer.
Well, we changed it then just before
to Lexus.
You started talking about M3, and then I was like, what you're talking about is nearly like too agricultural. And then I was like, what about Twin Cam? And then you sung it out, and I was like, And then you were like, what about Lexus? And then we sung it out, and we're like,
yeah, that's it.
Winner.
I also have a Lexus tattooed on my arm, but we're not going to get into that. Fuck, I made bad life choices. Anyway. Alright. I was driving in a Lexus with nothing on the window, 2 ball back tires and it keeps going into limp mode. Driving down the back road, going sideways, giving her loads. I know that she will clear my mind, but she won't win a car show. I'm driving up smoke, burning off tires, and my mother, she knows I am half wired and my heart it is pumping and my passengers are quiet. I don't know if they're having fun or they just see blue lights, and we're up smoke, burning off tires, and my mother, she knows I am half wired and my heart it is pumping and my passengers are quiet. I don't know if they're having fun or they just see blue lights. Yeah.
I thought you were going to actually finish off with blue lights. I thought you were going to say, because they're going quiet, I thought you were going to say, or they're scared of dying.
Oh fuck, I could have died.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought you said
they're
at
scared
first.
of dying.
Because
Yeah,
it's
that
like, I
worked
don't know
lovely.
whether they're quiet or whether they're scared of dying. And I was like, I was trying, only I don't know the lyrics well enough, I was going to sort of half contemplating joining in there.
Let's have a duo, a duet. Jez, I know other songs kind of like that even. Macroom was, the High Horse song is good, but I'm going to save that for an old release that I do. Because that's coming out.
I
as a
really do
single.
think you should, like, because that's only one verse in the chorus. So it's like,
Oh, there's another verse. Another verse wrote ish, but I'm not good at.
yeah.
So
I'm honestly, like, that's the type of thing, like, you'd want to make. Look, I'm just putting it out here now. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your arse, and I'm not trying to get my head up under your small intestine. But what I am going to say is,
that's a good one.
If you were to push on that, like that, like hit the diff shouldn't have worked.
It just did.
It
yeah.
just worked so well. Do you know why? Because it related. Everyone went mowing, raking, sowing, baling, drawing, hauling on, buck raking, back and stacking, playing, and everyone was just like,
It works. Yeah. Yeah.
follow the money, like this, and then like it just was. No one had heard anything like it, and it was just so simple, and it just worked. And that's the same. It's like, especially when it comes to it's like, and we're up smoke, like when you do that, and it's like.
But then it kind of goes back
strong.
to. It goes back to that though. Does it become a gimmick song? Do you know
But
what
is
I mean?
that a problem? Is that a problem?
Yeah, it does. It is for me because a lot of my songs will be very serious. So Macroom was
Macroom's not fucking serious.
No, but Macroom was the unicorn. Macroom was the song I did not want to record, did not want to release, did not want to write. It just fucking happened. So then it went from there to Flying Home.
Yeah.
If you've heard Flying Home, which is more of a serious song about flying home from America or Canada and Australia for Christmas and stuff like that. So that was a more of a serious song, and that'd be kind of more my level. Where it's like I'd like to, because the kind of person I am, I'd like to bring up the topics that nobody talks about. I'd like to talk about more serious stuff. Try and advise people from my own mistakes, and that's kind of where my music goes. But then I also
I hear you, but
like
you're
a
also
bit-
good crack.
Yeah.
You know, no, but like that is like, I don't know if I could get away with doing that song as well as you, because you've got. I'm probably still a bit too serious, whereas you would be able to get away with it a bit more because that's just your kind of nature. Like if it was Falvey singing that song, you know.
I'd go queer, yeah, and he'd be sitting on the bonnet of the Reliant singing it or something.
Oh,
like,
we've up smoke.
He'd actually be a lad if we were doing a music video. Falvy'd have to be in it, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we did kind of sort of do this in the
Yeah,
shed. Like.
yeah.
Do you know? I once wrote a song. I've tried writing a couple. We were talking about this. Do I do this? Do I not? And so fuck it. I'm going to do it.
Do you want the guitar?
No, I'll take the guitar. I don't know. I'll just have to sing it. But okay, so I don't try and get political on the podcast, and this is kind of like, so I'm not going to get political because I'm kind of respect everybody. But there's an Irish tune called Grace, and I might actually have people land at my door for butchering this, but because it's such a sad song, I decided to take that same tune and. Because it's such a sad occasion,
It's actually a good fucking song, though.
I thought about maybe the Vosa taking someone's car for running red diesel, because it's really somber and it's such a sad moment.
Red diesel, for those down the south, is green diesel.
So
You'll find it in the Jeep.
This has never. You're the first person that ever heard that, and that was tonight. I've had this written on my phone.
Yeah. It's good. It's funny. No,
I've had
it's
this
good.
written on my phone from. I can't even find when it was done, but it's a long time ago. 2nd of March 2024. Created 18th of February 2024.
Fuck, lad, you need to get going on that.
That's a year,
That
nearly
should
a
be
year ago.
recorded and out.
So like, yeah, look, this is yeah, like I've tried to get you to get the chords here. We've hashed this a couple of times. Yeah, so like, never ever want to get political. It's just because it's a really sad song, and when the Vosa takes your car, it's a really sad moment. It's not based on a true story, but I know I know plenty of individuals who have been in this position. So it's called Grace, but it's actually the Vosa. So as I was going down the gully line to old Dungannon town, I came across a Vosa Jeep, and on my back he tailed. Well, he pulled me into the side of the main road. He stuck his pipe into the tank and read, oh, it did show. Oh, Vosa, you have took my car, and in this moment, Caesar, they take me out the yoke, and I was fine. She's on the lorry, and she's heading for the big old crusher. It was the 3rd time I was caught, so we must say goodbye. Woo!
What the fuck? God, you, that's class. In Falvey shed, what's going on?
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
We can together. We can recall. I should have changed. Oh, I missed the track. I should have made it. Should have made it.
Class. Falvey, it's already legal. It's just frowned upon by revenue.
My green diesel actually identifies as clear.
Yeah, I apologise.
Can we do Macroom? I reckon. Look. Again, I'm kind of in the mood, and the listeners are just going to have to hear me sing now. So, like, fuck them.
Right, let's go.
Can we do Macroom?
Yeah, we will.
When you're here, because,
yeah.
like, you know, it's kind of like the big song, and I kind of want to feel like I have my 30 seconds of fame.
Yeah, right.
Do you mind if I join in?
Yeah, fire away.
I can't say I know the whole thing, but I did get you to give me the lyrics. So
you get some of it. So that's the main thing. Right.
You start again, and we'll.
As I walked home of a starry night in the middle of June, and across the road she caught me, oh, what am I going to do? With her long blonde hair and looks to spare, I must find out her name. Oh, turn your back, she'll drive you mad, yeah, she'll drive you insane. I fought the voice that told me not to go there. I crossed the road and made my way up to the square. I says to her, oh, can't you see I am the man for you? You might be bad and drive me mad, but I'll drive you mad too. Oh, we kissed under the moon. Next thing you know, we're driving slow, we're heading back to our room. Oh, we're heading back to Macroom, where the rivers flow and the locals know what she's been
gonna do
getting
to
up
you.
to. Well, I woke up in the morning with nothing on but the radio. I looked to me left and looked to me right to realise I was on me own.
I have an idea. Let me do the second verse.
Right?
Well, I woke up in the morning with nothing but the radio.
Well, I woke up in the morning with nothing on but the radio.
I looked to the left and looked to the right, and I realised I was on me own. There was lingerie and whips and chains thrown around the room. Oh God, I says, oh Jesus Christ, what happened in Macroom? Is that it?
So to be, it's the best way to fucking, yeah, so some of it, so there was lingerie and whips and chains thrown around.
There was lingerie and whips and chains thrown around the room. I don't think I have the voice for that.
Can you go higher?
There was lingerie.
Lingerie. So there was lingerie. Yeah, so it's Ray.
There was lingerie and whips and chains thrown around the room.
What other verse?
Oh God, I says, oh Jesus Christ, what happened in Macroom?
The last verse. Do you know the last verse of it? So I'm here in the car with me mammy now, and I think I know the trick. If it seems too good to be true, then it usually is.
Not really, not as well.
What's the
I might just do the choruses with you then.
No, you can do the second verse if you want. I don't give a fuck.
No, because I can't hit them notes.
They're high, alright, yeah. And even
I closed my eyes and I felt around to try and I closed my eyes and I felt around just to try and find me phone. With a battery dead and a pain in me head, then I'll find my way home. With me woman gone and me wallet too. A taxi, it's a dream. So out the door towards the road, and we'll look and try to see. Well, along the road and to the left, and I see an aircom box. And I bumped some change from a nice old man, 'cause I told him I was lost. I picked the phone and I said, Mommy, can you collect me? I'm alone.
No, so it goes, I picked up the phone and said, Mommy, please, can you collect me? I'm alone. Then you give a pause there and then it goes back in. And for some strange reason I can't figure out,
I have a pain in me hole. Fuck it, I'll just sing it along with you.
You sure?
Aye, fuck it. I wouldn't want to.
It's a fucking fair hard song to
you need the
gauge.
Yeah, you need the pipes, like.
Fair hard. Not the pipes, it's not the pipes at all.
You ignore.
No.
It's a wee bit off timing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That comes from rap.
And a bit of Christy Moore.
Some bit, maybe, yeah. But most of the off time that I'd have would be rap. So we'd say, what raps is there? We'd say, nowadays everybody when I talk like they got something to say is a little bit out of time.
Yeah.
But it matches.
Okay.
And that kind of comes in with Macroom as well.
Well, so we'll sum again.
All my songs are kind of actually off time.
Well, saying as you're here, can we do Macroom?
We can.
Can I try and join along with you?
Oh, you can, yeah, no bother at all. Fire away.
This might take numerous edits.
Right, we fire.
Go on. Fuck it,
Right.
let's go.
I looked to the left and I looked to the right to realise I was on my own. There was lingerie and chains turned around the room. Oh God,
But
says
I say,
I,
oh Jesus Christ, what happened in Macroom? Oh, we kissed underneath the moon. Next thing you know, we're driving slow, we're heading back to Macroom. Oh, what am I gonna do? With me wallet gone and me clothes back on, I suppose I'll write a tune.
what the fuck did it go? So I closed my eyes and I felt around just to try and find my phone.
With me battery dead and a pain in me head, I tried to find my way home.
With me woman gone and me wallet too. Oh, a taxi is a dream. So I'm out the door and towards the road I look and try to see. Well, along the road and there to the left didn't I see an aircom box. I bumped some change from a nice old man because I told him I was lost. I picked up the phone and said, Mommy, please, can you collect me? I'm alone. And for some strange reason I can't figure out, I've some pain in my hole. Oh, we kissed underneath the moon. Next thing you know, I've no way home and I'm stranded in Macroom. Oh, I think it was all a ruse, because I've got no cash and I've got no way back and I'm about to blow a fuse. So I'm here in the car with me mammy now, and I think I know the trick. If it seems too good to be true, then it usually is. Such a fine young girl from Cork I thought, and now I know I was wrong. She's a poison fill and a girl who had a motive all along. Oh, we kissed underneath the moon. Next thing you know, we're driving slow, we're heading back to Macroom. Oh, what am I going to do? With me wallet gone and me clothes back on, I suppose I'll write a tune.
Nice. Don't know if I'll use all that because I fucked up a heap of bits, but
Fuck it. Use as much as you can.
I'll see what I can. I'll throw a couple of bits. I might try and get a skit together of a few things.
Do.
Aye.
I think this will be a good podcast.
Oh, fucking sure. But there has to be more. We need it. We need more. We need more.
What do we have?
Yeah, Yeah, we kind of went off tangent there.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me. I guess like I never actually envisioned. I always kind of sort of half hoped it would happen. I guess the opportunity never presented itself. But like, you know, I always wondered would I ever be able to squeeze a bit of music onto the podcast, and you've actually given me the opportunity to do that.
What you should do, I have a great idea for you.
Right.
So do you know the way you were saying to me about the intro to the podcast?
Yes.
Conor has.
Yes.
Yeah, that you're like, oh, we could record it again, or, do you know, update it. Why don't you update it by playing an instrument?
Well, funny you say that, right? Because, as we know, the banjo's sitting here, and this is actually something I thought about. So, the theme song we actually use, because it's such an old song, it's from like 2008.
Yeah.
It's it was like an old rave tune that Conor really loved, and it's called Drop the Bass, and the artist is actually called Sparkling Boobs.
Class.
Yeah.
What
but I
fucking
actually
name.
did wonder if YouTube ever caught on to it, but instead of making it like, because the song sounds really happy, the problem is if I was to play on the banjo it would sound kind of sad, so it would end up kind of sound like, you know,
Yeah.
I'd need like a backing.
But that also sounds like a
extenders.
For fuck's sake. How can you play that on the banjo? But no, as like, do you know, like an intro to an old comedy series, like a soap?
Aye.
That's what that sounds like. Like the
Well, like,
yeah, like just like a real, like real slow. We're coming into an old comedy series, like
yeah, that was far
Class,
Ted.
yeah. Unbelievable, yeah.
Like, I kind of always wondered, like, would it, if the time ever come to create my own theme song? I can't even do it in the banjo because then people would think I'm ripping off the two Johnnies. Is someone coming into the yard? No, they're turning down the road behind us.
I thought Falvey might be presenting himself.
Do you know what I was actually wondering? Was Falvey going to come in and like?
Then he could be out in the truck till all night.
Oh, here, don't I know? So whenever he came and done the podcast with us, like I said to the man, I was like, right, like, you know, you arrive here, he landed down the truck, and we sat and chatted to him for probably a good hour and a half, same as I did with you. Like, we just sat and chatted and went through a lot of things, and he kind of gave me a couple of ground rules not to ask him the podcast, and I was like, Chief, I wasn't going to ask you about that anyway. Yeah. So he was like, okay, whatever, that's cool. And then I said to him, look, you know, you can stay at mine, we've a bed and all there ready for you, and like, he was like, no, I'm a lorry driver, I just want to sleep in my lorry. And I was just like, respect to the cause.
That's
but
actually, I can see Falvey.
Yeah.
No, lorry driver, I just want to sleep in my lorry.
But that's exactly what it was. He was literally like, no, I just want to, here, do you want your phone back?
Oh shit, yeah. God.
And he was just like, I just want to be, I just want to be in my lorry, I'm happy.
Are you sure he didn't pull in? Because he's just after texting me.
Oh.
You get on okay. Still
here.
Hold on, we send him a selfie. That mightn't send for 3 weeks because Falvey lives in the sticks.
There is literally nothing around here. I did notice that when I brought out my phone earlier as well. There's absolutely nothing around here. Would you never consider starting a podcast?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Because I could see you doing that now.
There was talks, right? There was talks of myself and Jamie, who'll be dog walker and shit talker on TikTok.
Right, okay.
And then there's another lad, the angry welder, Liam O'Keefe.
Okay.
We all know Liam.
Yes.
Liam is he's one of the nicest, and I mean it, the nicest lads you'll ever meet. Like, he's called me so many times going, Nathan, do you know, if I put up a video complaining on TikTok, Liam will call me, be like, well, how are you getting on? What's up? He could be on the phone to me for an hour.
Yes.
Jamie is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just two people that are really easy to talk to. Myself and Jamie will be talking fucking the whole time. But two people are really easy to talk to, but so different dynamics.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
I'd be a farmer.
Yes.
The angry welder is an angry welder.
Yes.
And dog walker and shit talker is a dog walker. And the three of us put into a room would be fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And then there's talks of another lad, but I won't say his name because just in case, I won't say his name.
Does this sound like, why do you think it could happen?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Another lad from Limerick.
Right.
And I leave it there.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, ask
Yeah.
away.
No, it's just like, why Limerick?
They're funny people. Limerick people are hilarious.
I don't actually really know anybody from
Like,
Limerick.
they're fucking
To be
brilliant.
honest, I don't.
Oh, they're just always.
I think it's the one county in Ireland I genuinely don't know anybody from.
Anyone I know from Limerick are absolutely hilarious. They're brilliant. Like, they're just.
I mean, I know the Rubber Bandits are from Limerick, like.
Yeah, but they wrote different kind of music. I'm at Amanda's wedding. No, but like.
Fuck your Honda Civic, I have a horse outside. To be fair, tune.
It is a tune,
It's
yeah.
satire, like. I could imagine you doing something like that.
I've sang it at gigs, yeah.
I know, but I could imagine you doing something like that.
Yeah, I probably will at some point. It all depends on what kind of way I decide to take it.
I think it probably depends on your mood half the time, because you were sitting here earlier on going like, a lot of my stuff means a lot to me and all this here, and I'm like, yeah, fair. Like, music should always come from the heart, but at the same time, I'm sitting there thinking like, you said you do enjoy making people laugh. That's a big part of your dynamic and your character.
Yeah.
And I think like the satire kind of music, like we're talking about, like for instance, Alexis song, like that will ring true with people. Yes, you're taking the piss and you're making it the joke about my ma says I'm wired and all that there. Like, that's still relatable. And I know you're saying like it's maybe not deep.
No, but it is. You're 100% right. It does. Every bit of it depends on my mood.
Yeah.
So like, the funny thing is, if I write a song that's any bit depressing,
Yes.
and I leave it halfway written, I have to be depressed to finish that. So I've sat in a dark room with the fire lighting, trying to bring myself to tears to finish music. Like,
See,
you get to that point. Like.
Yeah, but that in itself is incredibly difficult. That may sound, some people listen to that going, LOL, I'm always depressed. It's like, yeah, maybe. But like,
no, this is like,
but that's difficult.
Yeah, like there's depression, but then there's the fact of.
And we shouldn't take the piss out of depression either, because
I like and I'm fucked, but but like there's being depressed, and then there's like, I want to be sad.
Yes.
I want to be so fucking sad
that this comes from like, this gives me a Radiohead vibe whenever I'm trying to write.
Yeah. I want to scream here, and this is how I'm going to do it on this piece of paper. So it's like you're pulling. A lot of it does come from real emotion, like fucking, oh my god, I feel like I'm going to die. And it's about pushing yourself deeper into the hole of I'm sad to finish a song. Even though you're not fucking sad.
Is that not exhausting?
Seriously is, yeah.
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 I actually genuinely, this is what would separate me and you. I don't think I could genuinely do that. I don't think, not that I have no songwriting accolade apart from a piss take of the version of Grace, but like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't commit myself that way.
Yeah.
I just know I couldn't. And I know you said earlier, you were like, you can be good at anything if you try.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that.
I wouldn't want to try that.
No.
That does not appeal to me in the
No,
slightest.
it's not fun. But my missus, like, sorry to interrupt again.
No.
My missus knows the way it is.
Yes.
So, like, dark room, me on my own, she'd be like, are you okay?
Yes.
And a lot of the time, if I am writing a song and it can get very down, and some of them, trust me, you don't want to fucking hear them. They're seriously bad. Some songs that I write can be severe, as like, I am at the end of my fucking wits here, and this is the song I write. And then it turns into, I finish the song, I do half the song, and then I go away.
Yeah.
And I'm happy again. Everything is fine. And then you come back to that song and try and finish it because you thought it was good, and you have to put yourself back into that manic fucking state of, I am at the end of my fucking, it's so hard on your head.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking like Heath Ledger from Batman,
Yeah.
the Joker, literally put himself in the mind frame of the Joker, and it literally killed him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's, you hear a lot of things with us people in the arts in general. They do try and put themselves in these mental places, and it's kind of scary the effects that can have on some people.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No,
like, it goes back to,
like, it's like method acting, but it's not meth acting. It's like method writing, nearly.
I think you have to feel the mood to write about it.
But then, would you say that the mood you're trying to put on is like that? You're saying, I need to get myself in a bad place. Is that not still artificial?
No. Oh fuck no.
Oh shit.
Because it comes into,
that's even worse.
Because you've written about it. You've written half a song about it. You can read half that song and you know exactly why you were sad in that moment, or you know exactly what, we'd say, going back to past things that have happened, or going back to old things in life, or do you know what I mean? So you can pull yourself back to them moments and envision them in your head and put yourself in that fucking situation of like, oh my fucking God, I can't do this.
I know, I just couldn't do that.
Gets hard, yeah. And then you have the funny songs that you write in fucking 20 minutes and they're lovely to play and everybody likes them and everybody's laughing and joking and da-da-da-da-da, it's great fun, but they don't mean the hell of a lot to me. Personally,
okay.
And I use music as like
Therapy?
like most people, my therapy, my
Yeah.
way of getting things on a page and getting it out there. Things that are pissing me off, things that are, I don't know, sad about or whatever the fuck people get nowadays. Do you know what I mean? So that's my therapy. So happy songs don't really connect with me,
Okay.
as well as the.
I suppose for me, like, I've always looked at, if I'm trying to write a song or something and I would just feel like a failure. And then it would nearly piss me off because I'd go, nah, this is shit. And then I would just go like, fuck that. And I have good staying power. Like, you know, we know this, like, with the podcast. I've been through this thick and thin, and there's been times, like, you know, I've been literally sitting going, like, even this weekend, like I've got countless things to do, and I still need to find the hours to try and get the podcast edited. I haven't even started editing last week's podcast, and it's out on Sunday.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
you
me.
know, shit like that, and it's 3.5 hours long.
But yeah, I don't know. Music is as hard as you want it to be.
Yeah.
And if you want to make it very, very, very hard, you can make it the hardest thing you ever do.
Yeah.
But
I would agree with that.
If the way I look at it is, if I can put my emotions on a page, it becomes a hell of a lot easier because I'm only writing about what I'm feeling. So that's why a lot of the times you're pulling yourself back into that dark time or that dark.
But I don't even think, you know, you're talking about the dark time, I get that, but even I was saying to you when off camera before it started, like, you know, we were talking about like the Lexus song, and I was like, I couldn't write what you've written, and I wouldn't say, like, and that's still, to me, the lyrics are still really, really good, and I'm like, but I can't, like, I couldn't do that. I just wouldn't be able to put it that way. I just couldn't put it across that way.
Years and years and years of.
But
I've read the dictionary. I heard Eminem read the dictionary, so I did it.
Yeah, Eminem literally did read the dictionary.
So I've done it.
Fuck.
I bought an Oxford English dictionary and I read it. I was only about 13. I sat there and I read the fucking dictionary.
Yeah, Eminem read the dictionary to give himself a more linguistical and
yeah, and I've done that. And if I'm writing a song and I have a word in my head and I think it mightn't be a word, I will research that word to the T to make sure it means what it actually means. And I do that with every fucking song I write.
Or just going to thesaurus.com and look up stuff like that, like you're trying to get a word. What means this but rhymes with this? I'll find
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Thesaurus.com.
I must look that up.
So, like, you know, like, so instead of, like, a dictionary obviously is a definition of a word, a thesaurus is like what is a word like quickly? What's another version of quickly? Rapidly, fastly,
fuck, yeah,
speedily,
yeah.
Except, so, you know, and it would be like, okay, so then you get, I don't know what you call it, but basically the word that rhymes with such and such. So you'd be what rhymes with such and such, and then you'd look at this, and then thesaurus. Did you not know this?
No.
Wow.
I've been raw dogging it since I'm 13.
Maybe that's why your stuff sounds better. There's more thought on it. Genuinely.
There's some effort goes into it,
Yeah,
but people don't see it. Like even with TikTok, every word is picked and placed perfectly.
One thing that really annoys me about even like the bigger names, and occasionally I make mistakes too. Like, so I use a captions generator to do my so. A lot of the time, like, I'll take videos and then I'll cut them myself because caption generators a lot of the time do a really bad job of it. Or I'll use the caption generator and edit it online. But like, there's people that literally will just take their podcast and they don't. It really annoys me whenever I see people put videos up and like they're talking and the captions aren't exactly what they're saying and there's like spelling mistakes, and I'm like, I know I can make mistakes.
Lad, how do you do that? You're on about putting words on the video.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
I can show you. I just use Opus. But so like, I pay for a subscription a month. It saved like a lot of time with me in the podcast because I used to do all my captions manually.
I don't do that at all.
Captions is very good at engaging people. It doesn't. You've a bigger follower count than me, so it doesn't fucking matter. But
I'm only learning. Like I don't think the number at the top means anything.
I agreed, but and that's only because I have to tell myself that to keep going.
It doesn't.
Yeah, like, so I find whenever I'm like, maybe it's just because me and Conor, like, both, and like yourself down here, we all have very thick accents.
Yeah.
You know, like we're all culties. So, you know, it's not like we're in Dublin going, good to see you, man. You know,
Yeah,
like we know.
fuck that.
Yeah, like we, you know, we don't have that.
For the bus.
You know, like
No, I'm not going to go there.
you know, like we
It's about to go deep.
like we don't like I don't have that, like, you know, that I don't have a good accent. You know, it's just so like I find like whenever I'm doing a video on TikTok, at least people can read.
Yeah, but you have a northern accent.
Yeah,
So
there's a very Scottish hint in my accent too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll grab attention anyways. Like, try me the tip, man. We haven't got really an accent, just agricultural. You just know it's agricultural.
A tip does have an accent, I think. It's just not as, how you know, as Cork or Kerry.
Yeah. Cork is a bit mad now. I've worked with a heap of Cork people, so I actually have a small bit of a Cork twang. Every now and then, every so often, you'll pick it up.
But like, we were actually chatting about this in another podcast the other night, and that, like, so maybe you'll be able to say the same. This old, like, I call it old hand or old hand. Like, this kind of real mumbly accent, like, that people take the piss out of. I suppose because I'm in the south at the minute and I'm seeing a lot of this. You never hear that accent. Like, the last time I heard it was on like a shovel driver in a quarry, and he came in and I was like, "How you know, lads?" You know.
Oh,
like,
yeah, the old fucking.
But you don't hear that accent anymore.
Oh, you do. Go to farm to farm to farm to farm. And hear it.
Aye, but like with our generation.
No, but our generation is gone. Yeah.
Like,
but it will. Like, it'll just, as people get older, it'll.
Like, it's the same way, like, at home, you would get, like, a really broad, where people nearly do sound Scottish, where they all go, I talk like that there, you know, that's the way I talk, you know,
but
it's
I
more
think a lot
broad.
of these people are watching a lot of telly and picking up accents
Yeah, there probably is a site, hang on.
because
My nose is running.
yeah, my nose is running as well. It's fair cold in here. This is what happens when you're in Falvey shed at this hour of the night. But, no, with accent, I go back to accents, being a father.
Okay, yeah.
You see it a lot with kids, other kids, like, have American accents. And
Yes.
they're like 2 and 3,
Yeah.
and they're like, how the fuck?
I know my sister's best friend, her wee brother, when he was younger, obviously not naming any names, but whenever he was younger, like until he was 7, he spoke with an American accent. That was just something from watching Rugrats.
Yeah, it's mad.
It wasn't like he was obsessed, or it wasn't like he was.
Just picked it up along the line.
It just that's how he learned. So everything was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And then as he got older, he just developed a fucking country
Normal.
twang like the rest of us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when he was younger, he talked American until he was like 7, and then going to like primary school kind of put it out of him because he was
But I
with
think
other kids.
your accent changes anyway. The older you get.
I thought that too. I was like, no, I wouldn't have been as like culty when I was a Wayne. And then Mum found like an old video clip of me and my sister, and it was like my first day of school, and I was like, am I going to school today, Mum? And I was like, oh my god, I have sounded like a culty my entire life.
Oh, I was an absolute agricultural fucker. Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, I would still say I am. Occasionally when I'm around customers, you might have to dial
Hi,
back a
how are
little bit.
you? I'm Michael.
Yeah. Although down here in Cork, not so much, because I talk very fast and everybody understands me.
Yeah.
It's great. You go to England,
Haven't the clue.
you have to slow down.
It's grand with me because I'm going into farmers. So instead of like having to put on the whole customer shit, it's like, well, how are you? How are you going?
Yeah.
I'm Nathan. Just wondered, do you need a bit of AI? You give the wink.
Bam, 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 bam.
I know of a lad. Now, he's not with the same company I'm with, but he is an AI man that got punched by a farmer on a farm one day because he was AI in a cow, and the farmer asked him to do another job, and he said, you want me to AI your missus as well? Well, your man turned around and absolutely upended him. Knocked him clean out in the crush. Yeah, I know a lad that happened to.
Did he deserve it?
No, that's a good joke. That is a good joke.
Yeah, that's really funny.
That's a fucking class joke.
Yeah, that's a clinker.
Do you know, I'd
Yeah.
love to say that, but someone had hit me.
But the only problem with that man is he didn't know his audience.
Yeah.
He didn't know his audience.
Class joke though. Like, imagine a farmer going, hey, will you AI this one for me? And you're like, do you want me to AI the wife as well? Bang! Just fucking lay them out like. No, he's not with any of the companies that are around now.
Can he take the farmer up for that?
Yeah, but I don't think he would.
Yeah, because he might. I'm getting chinned again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he'd end up looking like a tit, like.
Yeah. You do get some real thick cunts about the place, like that just.
Oh yeah. Some of them, yeah.
I mean, if someone
now,
said,
in saying that, all the farmers I work for are just lovely lads. I had one lad that was a little bit tough, and I just wouldn't go to him.
fair.
I was like, can't do this. Like, yeah. He was ringing me like fucking. I was in Dublin. I was at the two Johnnies. I was at the two Johnnies. Pints and Field 2.
Oh,
and
this must have been last year.
Yeah, I was staying in a
Cork?
hotel in Dublin. I was up in the
It's
hotel.
not in Cork. I was in Dublin last year. That's right.
Yeah, I was staying in a hotel up in Dublin, the Clayton Hotel. And not bothering me, I was in there, the fucking lift going down. I was going to get something to eat in the morning, and on the lift going down, I got a phone call. I said, Jesus, what the fuck is going on here? So I answered the phone. I said, this is Kilkenny Garda Station. I said, right. I said, what's going on? Did I do something yesterday or something? He said, no. He said, I have a lad here looking for you to do a job. I said, yeah. I said, what's his name? And he told me his name. And I said, yeah, Garda, will you tell him I've already told him I'm not doing any work for him anymore. I said, I told him to his face I'm not doing any work for him anymore. Why did he go to a Garda station to get a hold of me? I said, Guard, tell him I am not doing any work for him anymore. I can't deal with the man.
That's fucking mental.
I can't deal with the man.
Was he just difficult?
Yeah.
Well, clearly. He's going to the police station to get your number.
Yeah, so...
Clearly nobody else can work with him then,
call you in the middle of the night. Call you 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't give a fuck.
So that's what we're back to the AA, but a couple of other questions that I suppose I was meant to ask earlier and then forgot. Classic. One of the guys in a farm I used to work for a while when I was younger, one of the lads used to come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's when he did all the AAing.
Fuck that.
That's what he did. So he would come in and AA the cattle before they because your man kept the cattle in all year round. So that's what he did. He came in, did all the AAing at 3 o'clock, and then was home to take the way into school. And then he would have had a bit of a sleep, a bit of a snooze in the middle of the day, and then he would have maybe been able to do a couple of other things in the evening. And then, that's when he AA'd all the cows through the middle of the night.
Fuck that.
He'd have been in the yard. You'd seen his van pulling out the yard at 4:30 in the morning.
No, I start my day at 5 o'clock.
That's still early by my standards.
Start at 5 o'clock, up, cup of coffee, go. Out the door at 5:30, on the farm for 10 to 6. Milk cows, out of there 8, 8:30. Straight to the farm, no breakfast, no nothing, straight to AI.
Okay.
AI, my first batch is usually about 15 cows, takes about half an hour. Finish there, and I go down to another lad, and there's probably another 30 there, and I finish them. Then I go up to another lad, and there might be 2 or 3 up there, all depending on the time of year, and then finish for the day, probably about 12, 1 o'clock.
Alright, okay.
Go home, get dinner, big dinner now, because you didn't eat breakfast.
Yes.
And then you go back milking again in the evening, finish at 5, 6 o'clock, straight off again AIing.
Second batch?
Second batch.
And what time are you finishing up at?
Depends. So sometimes a year I only do one milking.
Yeah,
so you'd milk 1 herd of cows, and then you go to your AI. But coming near the end of AI season, I do 1 milking, I go do a batch of AI, and then I go milking again. So it'll be 9, 10 o'clock and I'm getting home.
And then up again at 5?
And then up again at 5. So you've literally worked from 5 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You've rested for a couple of hours and then back up at 5 and go again. It's absolutely hectic. And it can be like that through the whole AI season for 3 months straight.
That's mental.
Yeah.
And is that 7 days a week?
7 days a week. And I fucking love every minute of it. That overtired. When you're that overtired.
You just sound like a young Falvey. But the way he speaks in the podcast as well, he says the exact same thing.
When you get to that level of overtired, you get so productive.
I agree.
Because you're so tired, you have to stay going to keep going. So you just get all these mad fucking ideas, and you just stay fired. Yeah. And it works.
Yeah, I get that. It's kind of like, I don't know where it's raw energy or what you get, but when you get to that stage of you're so tired, days are burning out of your head, you're just like, let's go. It's as if there's a thing in you going, let's go. Can we push this?
Stop.
Yeah. I get
that's exactly what it is. I can't stop. If I stop, I'm gone.
Yeah. Well, that's the same as me. It's like the second I take the foot off the pedal,
forget about it.
Yeah. If I sit down, We're done.
But I'm like that on a normal day, like. So when my milking is quiet, I start at 5 and I'll be home at 8, half 8, like. So that's just when I've no AI, no dehorn, no anything. It's literally I just milk and milk.
Yeah.
I go home. So at the minute it's quiet because most lads are dried off and everything.
Yeah.
So I just have one farmer on. So I'm home at half 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I sit down, try and get a bit of breakfast, and then try and go, okay, what jobs do I have to do around the yard? What has to be done? 90% of the time I'm like, oh my god, the eyes are hanging on my head. I'm up since 5 here. I stopped for 5 seconds and now I'm tired, like.
I hear you. I hear you.
Then other times I could be absolutely on a fucking mad one. I could go all day long. Jeez, there was times last year I didn't stop till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, got an hour or two sleep, back up again, go.
That's tough going, but
Yeah, love it.
You love it until you kind of get to the stage where you're just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that's what happened with the seizure at the time.
Yeah.
It was. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't drink, wouldn't sleep. All I wanted to do was farm, and I done that till I could no longer do that.
Yeah.
And I was standing in a line in a credit union, and I fell. Well, I was getting dizzy, and I turned around and I fell. And I fell head first off a concrete floor and made shit in my nose. And I remember the doctor. I broke my nose, like, but I got 3 days in hospital. They checked me for heart stuff and all that kind of crack. But I remember the doctor calling me, and he said, Nathan, I want to realign your nose. I want to fix your nose. And my missus was standing across from me. She didn't know what was going on. And I went, no. My nose is fucking better now that it broke. I said, will you go away? My nose was crooked before. I said, it's only a small bit crooked now. I said, I can deal with that, doctor. And he's on the other end of the phone going, no, Nathan, I think you should get it fixed. I was like, no, I'm grand. Fire away, you're alright. And he, are you sure? Yeah, perfect. I said, no, we're grand. So I never got my nose set or anything.
Really? I'm only
Never.
noticing now you do have a wee bit of, you can see it's been broken.
You can see it's fucked, yeah.
You can see it's been broken, but
yeah.
I wouldn't have noticed that otherwise.
Yeah. No, I have a couple of fucking problems. That's one of them.
Big round.
Yeah. It broke my nose the time I had the seizure. Yeah. And then most of that, they're I have a cyst on my brain from that. They're putting it back to a car crash that I had years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I hit a cow while driving. I might have skipped over that for the last 2 hours. Yeah, I was driving out the road and I hit a cow. Nearly killed me.
Did you go out through the window and head plant a cow?
No, the cow came up on the window and drove. We'd say the A-pillar. It's a Volkswagen Golf. The A-pillar on top of the windscreen landed on the steering wheel. I was close.
I know more fella happened to in Abora, actually. Cow landed on top of the car.
Yeah, I was close.
Yeah.
Did
you? And you hit your head?
I hit my head off the steering wheel, yeah. And the doctor said it's 50-50 chance that the cyst on the brain could be related to the car accident.
Yes.
So it's pulling back to that again, but not a fun time in my life.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more positive we can finish up on?
Positive. Just grand weather. Grand stretch of evenings.
To be fair, was driving along 5:20. Did notice it was still daylight.
It was lovely, actually, wasn't it?
And the weather down here is, I know it's raining at the minute, but the weather down here is significantly better than the weather at home.
Do you think?
Oh yeah, no, we've had nothing but rain, apparently, for the last few days. It's been sunny down. Well, in Cork it was sunny.
It's cold though.
Not in Cork. Cork's about 1 or 2 degrees warmer than back home.
I find it cold here.
Maybe it is, but that's because you're inland and there's trees everywhere.
Yeah, I like trees though. Cutting them up especially.
That's something I never got into.
Lad, do it. Buy a chainsaw. Be a man. You ever see them videos? Buy a chainsaw. Be a man.
It's like eat the raw chicken out of the fridge. Be a man.
It's the most random shit.
Cook the stuff that's out of date. Be a man.
Lad, I'm telling you, buy a chainsaw.
I have Conor's chainsaw. I just never really got into it.
Just go fucking cut
For
the
some
trees.
people, it's like an addiction. It's like some people are like, Storm, cannot wait to go out. Like, a couple of boys I would do the tractor pulling with.
That's me.
It's all just photos of them would stand beside dump trailers with their arm up in the dump trailer, Owen and Niall Smith, referring to yous, and them standing like both up in the dump trailer, proud as punch, after just handballing a heap of fucking beach into a dump trailer.
Lad, I'd happily go out and just fucking cut everybody else's trees up, but that's illegal. If somebody said to me, hey, have at it, there's a chainsaw, have at it, that's your field, every tree is yours.
No,
fuck.
I would get bored after about 3 things with the chainsaw.
Fucking love it. Just fucking knock the trees down. Fuck yeah. What's not to love? Just fucking get going on it, like.
I don't know. I suppose I've never really done it, but
No, lad, I'm telling you,
it seems to be a rite of passage. If you're not doing that, you're shooting.
Lad, I had a farmer that owed me money. Swear to God. He only owed me, no, he still owes me money. He's sound though, and there's no panic on the money because
Right.
I work deals with him.
Okay.
But he owes me money.
Okay.
So I went down and I started fucking knocking trees all over his land. I said it to him, I said, hey, I need timber. I said, I'm going to get timber. He said, fire away. Oh, lad, I had the best day of my life. I mean, no. I just went fucking haywire. Just, fuck yeah. Cut them all down.
I feel like that's the most Irish cowboy thing I've ever heard.
Fucking cut them down. What harm?
Yeehaw.
Wouldn't you have something for the fire for the winter?
Well, that's true. See,
Now I've no home. I'm burning fucking eco logs now. Not an eco about them, if you ask me. Something fair economical about burning oak. Yeah.
Aye, it's like smokeless coal. It's like,
Cowboy. No, fuck the smokeless stuff.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
like,
you have the good stuff above, sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Aye,
I have it down here as well. Don't
Yeah.
tell anyone. Just tell Spotify.
It's like 3 people. Don't.
But no, fucking, no, cutting trees, lad. Get into it. Telling you, you won't look back.
You're such a meme.
What you mean a meme?
You just
fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Buy a Husqvarna. Just spend the money. I had fuck all. I had fuck all money and I went off and bought a chainsaw. Just fucking because. Just to be a man, like. Just fuck yeah. I own a fucking Husqvarna. 440, 40cc, 2-stroke, 5-to-1 mixture chainsaw. And I'm going to go and cut down your fucking trees if you ask me.
You're welcome to it because we have a couple of ones that fell.
Do you?
Hi. It's a fair fucking track.
Going up there with a small trailer.
You have an obsession with buying trailers. You should buy a trailer when you're up and then it makes the journey worthwhile.
Well, I have a small trailer. It's more like a wheelbarrow, but it's a trailer. It's tiny. It's only
you
for
could
the
take our thing. You could take our
Well, I
double
have the
tandem
car
axle.
transporter. That's fucking huge.
Is it good for logs? But
Well, then you make it work.
make
an enclosed trailer. I'm telling you though, buy a chainsaw.
I have Conors, but maybe it's something I should look into.
Just get into it, like. Just get going. Like.
We see, I'll be sending you like a video in a couple of weeks' time of me
just fucking tear into it, like just
cutting up wood, just going
and the wetter outside the better. If you like hardship in your life, just
I do love hardship.
Yeah,
I do love hardship. I have to say, I love hardship.
Do it.
Jeez, I love the hardship.
I love it. I had a heifer kick the shit on me today, and I was inside in the milking parlour going, "Fuck yeah." It's gonna be fucking tough, be tougher than me, like, come on. Do you know what I mean? Fuck you. Kick me. I can't kick you back because it's fucking cruelty to animals, according to the Department of Agriculture, but even though they will fuck you up.
Yeah. I sometimes feel bad because like I used to have a couple when I kept the bullocks. There was one of them and he was only playing, he was like a big dog. And he used to just come up and like randomly headbutt me.
Fuck them.
But like I would like randomly headlock him. So I would like hang over him and like kind of grab him in a headlock and then he would tussle. But like he loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know whether this is cruel or whether he hopes I'm playing.
But I grabbed the cow's tongue one day. That's probably cruel, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. Do you know when they're licking you?
Yeah. Would you like it if someone grabbed yours?
Depends on who grabs it. If the missus grabbed it, no. Fair play, yeah.
Insert sexy music here.
Stop the world and let me off Declan Nurnley. Hope you're good thing.
Stop.
Oh fuck. You got that video, you did?
That's the Declan Nurney effect.
Jesus, Declan Nurnley, but he'd knock you off your feet. What a man.
He played a show in Ballymena there and impregnated 3 women in Moorfeld.
Not hope. I thought you were being serious. But you never know Declan Nurnley. What a man though.
I mean, the goat's Jimmy Buckley, like.
No, I wouldn't be gone on Jimmy and Philomena. No,
not because of the singing. Just because Jimmy Buckley's fucking hilarious.
Daniel O'Donnell is...
The DOD.
The DOD.
There was a Pastake song.
I've listened to it multiple times on Spotify.
Yeah.
There's multiple.
All these pretty ladies licking their beat.
Oh, lad, the nursing home. Fucking poor old ones. How are we, Daniel?
Nathan,
what a man.
Where can we find you on social media?
Rough and reliable, I suppose, on TikTok. Yeah.
Do you not use Instagram or anything like that?
No.
No Instagram, no YouTube, no.
I have no interest.
Just TikTok.
I like TikTok. Yeah, so if you want to find me, it's probably Rough and Reliable on TikTok or Nathan Maher on Spotify if you want music.
Yes.
Nathan Maher on YouTube, Amazon.
Oh, you're in all that.
Any platform for music, you'll find me on it. You'll find it on TikTok. If you look me up on TikTok or Instagram, you'll find my music on there. Instagram Rough and Reliable, but I don't use it like.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I find Instagram's a harder market to break into, I think. Personal wise, grand. The podcast, difficult, I've found.
Yeah, it doesn't really take to my style of video.
Nor mine, I don't think. I could post something on TikTok and it would get like...
Now that we're speaking of Instagram, you remind me of the Rambush thing. Do you remember Rambush? Lad, I had some argument with him.
How? Why?
Massive fight.
Why?
I made a fucking idiot of him on TikTok.
How?
He blocked me on everything.
Oh. How? Why?
The insurance thing he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
He was selling dodgy insurance.
Yeah.
Telling people to lie on their insurance.
Yeah.
I called him out now.
Ah.
I was like, lad, you can't be doing that. That's illegal.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, who are you? Yeah, I'm bigger than you. Why are you talking to me and this, that and the other? I was like, fuck you. All right, here we go. If you think I'm not important, I'm going to show you how unimportant you are. So I done a bit of research, found out about his companies, his brother's companies, his address, everything about his life that I ever wanted to find out. I found it out. I read all his LinkedIn, went on to all the government yokes and read all about the different companies his brother has set up, any companies he set up. He told me he had 3 companies he's won. He lied about everything. I mean everything now. And then at the end of it, he just blocked me and fucking disappeared.
Conor, I would turn around and say to you here, that was a great episode, and you go, oh, I loved what it chatted about here, but self-admittedly, you never got listening to it. But
so when I'm listening to myself again in the car in a week's time,
aye,
I'll be like, I'm a fucking dick for even coming out with this. But yes, I'll be like, that was brilliant.
Genuinely, I had much fun, and I've been talking about it this whole time. Like,
you've shown me snippets and all that there, and like it is very good. I can understand why you said you wanted your time with it.
Yeah, the man's a natural on camera too. Like he's just fucking hilarious. Me and him from the second we met up was like, yeah, okay, this is a vibe. We just got on well. It would have been great to have had you there though for the more technical chat.
You maybe wouldn't have said much if I had got started in with the farming, but sure, look.
Hard to know. Mightn't have got us musical. Who knows? But yeah.
I've been sitting there with him being like, do you want me to fucking play the triangle or something?
His song about the Lexus and all like is absolutely class. Like you do know that you've heard that, but
I've showed you that. Like, you have very much showed me the snippets.
I've showed you that bit, so like it was class. Like
unreal. Sir.
Normally this is where we round off with like big old skids and one wheel peels. However, I forgot to look at my phone and my phone's now dead.
Oh, so well, that's a typical fashion.
You've got no?
No, actually I fucking do.
Oh, right.
It's just come into my head, right?
Okay.
So, everybody have luck on my side, or pray for me to get some luck, or whatever the fuck you do to make sure that I maybe have some luck. It is my one and only golden opportunity to obtain this.
Right.
Fucking lucky day competitions with 8340 up for alpha.
Aye. Oh, what?
Thanks, no bot. Will I want it? No.
Oh, but imagine if you did. Imagine the fun we would have at the grass this year.
See if I did win it and then there was a cash alternative my dad was pushing towards, I'm like, no.
Yeah, be like, go and fuck off, Paddy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like if I did
but you would never sell that. Like even the silage trailer, like 8340 Wiki and silage trailer, you'd just be like, this is class.
No, we'd maybe try and swap the silage trailer for a Red Rock.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You know, maybe like a classic 18-foot Red Rock or something.
I still think the Kane and the 8340 is the best combination.
Ever fucking
I still think the Kane and the 8340 combinations.
I grew up with 340s on a 13-ton Red Rock.
Fair, like.
But like, if I won that there, that would be. So for multiple podcasts, I've always said, you know, GTD Golf would be the ultimate daily. Now I drive one of them every day, and oh my good lord, fuck, I love the Type R, but it is not in the same league as a modern day Golf.
100%.
Oh my god, like, I actually. So it turns out that mud flaps, for a GTD Mark 7 Golf are discontinued. So I had to go on AliExpress and buy GTI ones and throw the rears into the bin because they wouldn't be right.
Okay.
Because of the way the rear valance works.
Right.
And then I had to buy genuine ones on eBay. So originally, if I'd have just bought the genuine ones off the first person on eBay for whatever amount of money, so I had to wait 3 weeks and them coming. But so great job that way. And Type R's out to get MOT.
And then going back in.
But I've had my fun. She wouldn't start there yesterday.
Really?
Went to go and wash her, wouldn't start. You know the way she's on that thing in Mandela Park? Then it turns out I just pulled the terminal off and stuck it on again because I didn't actually tighten it.
Right.
And then it started. And I was like, oh. So was this way? So I was nearly tempted to take a wire brush to the terminal of the battery.
Maybe.
So, but no, she started, and that's why I've parked her the way I have out there now. So if the bitch doesn't start, you can push me.
That's fine. That's great.
But it's funny too, whenever you're not used to the loud exhaust for a while, it's loud.
The drone.
No, not even really that much, just it's loud. But yes, sorry, there's the other thing. So, another bigger skid. Not normal for me to be the one doing the talking at this point in the podcast, but anyway. So, there on Saturday night past, there's a small weekly car meet at Junction 1. Yes, weekly. I did not know this was a thing until I found out on Saturday
I didn't think they were allowed to do meets at Junction 1 anymore.
So, do you know where they're putting the weird looking structure type of thing, which I have now been told is now electric parking, or else a GO station is going there?
Right, okay.
I didn't know this, but anyway. It could be electric because I don't think I've seen doing tanks whenever I'd seen them working out before. But, so across from Starbucks,
yeah,
there is a small car park. Or, well, quite a
there is
size,
yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
So there's a small weekly car meet there. No, did I say small? Just there's a weekly car meet.
There's a weekly car meet, yeah.
I think it's held by Street Meets and I or something.
Okay.
It was like looking at Mara Felt 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
So
when
like,
there actually was a bit of life about the place.
There was. Now it wasn't like it was bunged or anything, but it, it was nice to see folk out, and it just shows the way things have changed and times have changed, that you've likes of teenagers running about with their phones. Now I understand they're maybe turning people's heads in some aspects of that, or people may feel that, but at the same time, that's how young fellas get into cars.
That is true.
Like you're talking about the drift cars being up in the shed. Didn't get his knee in, but a young fella came over to me and asked him a few questions about the Civic and asked me to rev it for him. Didn't really want any police attention, so only did it for a couple of seconds. But for all I know, you could have made that young fella's day.
Yeah, 100%.
Not saying I did, but you could have.
You weren't a dick to him, like so.
And he was nice. He was polite about it, and he didn't overimpose or anything. And like, maybe someday he might have a Type R or a Chaser or an Evo
or anything like that. And yeah, as
and
long as he returns the favour.
You know what? That's how you keep, I suppose, the thing alive. Or not really. I've not really a whole lot to add.
I went to the port yesterday. It was a fucking cracker of a day, and there were so many nice cars about.
I walked the dog yesterday with Gemma, and I washed the Golf yesterday. And
could do with washing all my cars, but I need to get my
Moroccan looks brave and clean. Well, how was the port?
It was unreal. There's a serious amount of cars about it. It's the first time I've seen that much action in a long time. This place was
the
packed.
First good day, really.
Really good day. I was chatting to Owen McShane and a few other lads from Port Carsey were all down as well. So it'd be nice to get the port back. It'd be nice to get to the port a couple of nights this year. Yeah. Portland was kind of the spot to be last year, and to be fair, there was a couple of cool things. Like Nickel Brothers sort of turned Portland really into something quite special, to be honest. So fair play to them, but it'd be nice to mix up between the both. A lot of the crowd that would have been at Port Stewart went to Port Glenone. I suppose it's still a port at the end of the day, but not the same port.
There's obviously the police presence.
Yeah,
like the locals.
It's the same as both, but now you're going to get hampered by the cops whether you go to Port Glenone or Port Stewart at this point.
Fair enough.
But yeah, but look, I think the car scene's actually thriving. Truthfully, people can say it's not the same, it's not this here. I think the car scene's pretty damn good at the moment. There's just a lot of cunts who just think they're better than things. I
meant to say before, and it came into my head, I was on TikTok, and one of the the videos on your For You page was, I think it was a sale course at Ireland or something like that there, was it? and they had a Zara, a Mark IV Golf and stuff. And
We'd have killed for that back in the day.
you know, like we used to say, like, can you imagine if there was like a Need for Speed Marfeld?
There's city waste now on a set of Corsa.
You know, like
It zooms in D Cook's there. Someone has stuck D Cook's face in like a random pedestrian, like you know, like so. Yeah,
like they're now making it, and it's like there's
Mickey
savage cool.
yeah. Mickey Donnelly sent a video on the other night of him sliding in city waste, like it's just like fucking hell, like that's mental. I would love a set of Corsa. I would love a race sim.
Just money.
Oh, I'll see after. I bet. I feel like I'm going to be flush with cash after this wedding, but to be honest, probably not. Just have to go. I might get a couple more drift days maybe next year, but I keep getting told as soon as the ring goes on the finger, your life completely changes. So
Not with the right woman.
well, true. Well, everyone keeps saying, that's right, you're different. I'm not happy to you. That's what I keep getting told. That's right. That's not going to happen to you. Of course, that's right. So that's what I hear from everybody now. But it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you'll be different. It's like assholes. Right, will we finish it off?
I think we should. I hope everybody has enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're on Spotify, please
Like, subscribe, and comment.
and comment. If you happen to be in any of the socials, please like, follow.
Subscribe. Comment.
Yeah,
We're at Limited Slip Differences and absolutely everything.
we are indeed. Yes.
If you want to get me in the socials, it's at Michael Scullen _, unless it's Snapchat, which is mscullen.
And if you want to get me, it's at Conor.magoo and all things. And since Adam has newly joined, it is at MCC
fuck that, he can figure he can,
or something.
something like that. We'll just.
But no, if you happen to if you happen to note that the socials are more active as in recently, with maybe a wee bit of a different spin on the content,
Good
it's
man,
Adam, and he's doing a savage job of it. And long may it continue. And that's a wrap. All the best, folks.
Best of luck. Take care.
Thank fuck time for my best.